Home ain't ever what you wanted it to be. So you packed your things and you left. Took a train, left somewhere out west, and you found what looks like hope. You take that little bit of change you got in your pocket and you build a ranch, maybe a nice little family. But unfortunately, there's never hope. Welcome to Crystal Grit. Mind your pistols now.
And hello, everybody. How are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. And we, as a whole, I guess I am not Hard Knock Dice. We are Hard Knock Dice. Here with another session of Whispers in the Dust, which I still have not corrected on my note, unfortunately. But I specifically am Ian, the Dungeon Master. Yeehaway, Yeehaw, Yahweh, which is the full government name. And these people to my left, not around me, are our players, our gunslingers, our dastardly ne'er-do-wells. Travelers. I don't know. I can't think of like other cowboy-themed names for grouping. Our posse. There we go. It's our D&D posse. But yeah, we'll get into this here really quickly. But before we do, as per usual, the link's already over there. You see it. It was posted by Nightbot. Is raising money for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Go ahead and click on that link. Donate what you can. It's helping kids. Open your heart wallets to a good cause. Lawful kind. Or just kindly kind. That's an alignment now.
Just pick a random number, donate it, and then you can be chaotic kind.
Oh, that's a fucking good idea. Roll a D100.
Oh, you're a D20.
Roll a D100, and then roll a D6, and multiply the D100 by the D6, and that's how much you donate. Add as many dice into the equation as possible. Anyway, so do that. That's cool. Scheduling reminder that this is Hard Knock Dice's last session of the year. We'll be playing today. We will not be live this next Saturday, this next Wednesday, or the Saturday after that. But then that Wednesday, we will be back with Whispers in the Dust. That is the Wednesday of the 3rd is when we will be back here. So we cap it off, and we start the new year. Hell yeah. So everybody point your guns in the air and just shoot into your ceiling. Nice. But yeah, so I think that's all announcements. I think we're good. Yeah. Sweet. Cool beanie weenies. In that case, last session. Last noon. Last 7 p.m. at night.
Last week.
I don't know, we're getting there. But our party were doing stuff. They were also doing things, but these things and stuff were pertaining to their mission here in Picton. Missions, plural, stuff they're doing. They enacted a plan to abduct / just convince to go with them willingly a dragonborn and a bugbear who were being pursued by Mr. King. Clyde Kelly, as nobody knows him as still, is funnier every session. And nobody knows his actual name still. But wanting to speak with them about pertaining the murder of his son and the kidnapping of his wife that had happened a little over 2 weeks ago at this juncture. Mr. Dotry successfully charming them both magically and literally into accompanying the party into the night outside of town. Nothing weird about that at all. But through a mixture of very good rolls on their part and maybe a little bit of luck, who knows? Nobody questioned this. They were allowed to exit Picton with no problems. And murdered the fuck out of the bugbear before she had any time to act, and swiftly apprehended the Dragonborn when Fax Umberfil and questioned him through methods that are slightly unsavory. But hey, whatever works. Getting some information about him as to how many members of the Worm Riders are still alive left in town, the whereabouts of, good gracious, of Clyde's wife, that she is being held in the mayor's house alongside Silvershot and his lieutenants, that Genevieve, who is the lost paramour, lover, important individual to our Sarah Bell, that she actually was not taken against her will, that she actually came with the gang willingly and of her own accord, and has currently been plying her trade among the majority of the Worm Riders who are staying totally of these people's volunteered sleeping quarters among the miners and things there within Picton. They also found a little bit more that this monster, there's been a monstrous creature plaguing the town that has taken a few people and appears to be also the source of much of the quiet in nature around the town. Weird as that may be. And our party left off after having the interrogation having been stopped by the Sheriff Brett Walden, who is their current ally-ish, who is then shot by Geist, or the Professor, or whom the fuck ever he is right now, Morgan something or another.
Barrington.
There you
Lord
go.
Morgan Barrington.
Morgan Barrington. God damn. But who shot the fuck out of him. Tensions were high. Then they were brought down a little lower. Sarah Bell is high on something akin to PCP, was how it was last described to me. And our party are just walking on back to Picton at this time in a loose line. And that's where we left off last session, when I had a technical difficulty. So
Yeah.
we gotta, ladies and gentlemen, we have to hammer out exactly what the fuck is going on right now. So I know we have Clyde in the lead, just meandering, ambling even, in no particular hurry, back towards Picton. Relatively close behind him is Geist, if I recall correctly. Moving along.
Geist would have jogged to catch up, as it were.
Fair enough. So those two in the lead. And then we have the rest of the party. I know that Sarah Bell took a brief amount of time to take the body of the Dragonborn along with John for a short period of time before, I can't remember what you said, performing a ritual, I believe, and then booting his corpse off of the cart, right? Just tumbling into the dust.
Yep, once the ritual is complete, no more need for it.
Right. So, that leaves... So, Sarah, I presume, is in the back with John, who behind that was Walden, who's deciding to walk at the back because he got fucking shot just a short little bit ago. What is everybody else doing? Is there any conversations y'all are wanting to have, or are y'all just walking back to Picton / riding?
I think Callie, who had paused a beat to chat or to offer that ride to Walden, sort of gets her horse to sort of go in the middle along this sort of our tenuous line, and starts to make perception checks, because it is the middle of the night. Like we know that there is something afoot and afoul here, and we gotta be a little bit better about this right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okay. that's really, really good. Perception. 21.
21. That is very good. And I'm gonna say, even with the 21, I mean, let's see. I also like rolling dice.
I do have dark vision up to 60 feet, and I have blind sight for 10 feet. So just as a just as a general thing as well.
Right. Yeah. No, good thing to keep in mind. Always a good reminder. That being said, 21, very good. And I will kind of reiterate on a point that y'all had while approaching Picton, of that it is, for the large part, this desert-ish area is eerily quiet. There are sounds of very little wildlife on the whole, which is odd, as aside from rock elementals, there's plenty of life throughout Eucryptidal, and most of it very not friendly. And also kind of with how it capped off at the end of last episode, maybe it's the wind, maybe it is the far off cries of something else that is alive, or maybe it's just your imagination getting to you, but you almost think you can hear the sounds of some distant screeching, something unnatural.
Okay. I think with that, I say in as lot of a whisper as I think that I can get away with to everyone, of like, all right, friends, let's make a move on into the city. I would rather not be out here for longer than we need to be. And I'd ride up to Miss Bell and go, Miss Bell, would you mind offering either Mr. King or the professor a ride, and I can take the other? Mr. Dotree is with Miss Sarah Bell, and that way we can be a little bit more mobile.
Absolutely. I think that is a fine idea. Whomever would like to ride with me may ride.
Sure, I'll hop up there.
Okay. And then I ride up next to the professor and go, all right, Professor. Cooler heads are prevailing. Would you please come up on my horse so that we are all together?
To see that you've calmed down, he will get up on the horse. He still doesn't have his weapons, right?
No, I think when I got that offer from or when I made the offer to Walden, I also retrieved your guns. I don't want you not to have them because I know what's coming.
What do you mean?
That being the case, he would have made sure everything was reloaded and ready by the time you get to the town perimeter, I guess.
All right. Very well, very well. Okay. And y'all are just heading into town, as is?
Mr. Dotree will be seeing some interesting things in the back of the cart from Sarah Bell.
I would be riding on the front. I wouldn't be bothering you, especially after the last actions you took.
Okay. But Sarah Bell would be pacing back and forth, drumming on her shotgun. Just very clear that she can't sit still and anticipating what's coming out of character of what you've seen.
Yeah, darling, sit on my lap. I'm talking to Agatha, not you, Sarah Bell. I say, yeah, darling, sit on my lap in case that shotgun accidentally goes out the bag. Maybe at least my flesh will block most of the pellets.
Oh, and DM FYI,
Yeah.
Geist, just before we get to town, Geist would have used that same cloth that he uses as a shroud to wrap up the rifle, kind of have it lay low, look like a bundle of sticks or something.
It's my guitar. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure.
I assume we catch up pretty quickly to
I would assume so.
Clyde and them that are on foot and whatnot. So, now that we have accomplished at least one of our goals for tonight, we have a little bit more information. What is the next part of this plan here? Do we continue on throughout the night? I must say my resources are rather slim at the moment.
I agree. If there is a way, Mr. King, I do know that you are eager to retrieve your wife. But if we could get through the evening, now that we know where she is, we can make a plan to extricate her. And now that we know that Genevieve is safe and where she is.
Yeah,
Yeah, Clyde is oddly happy. He's seems to be in pretty good spirits. He knows that his wife's alive and has an air of, oh, I can kill all the motherfuckers. Like, I know I can kill these people. I just need to know she was alive. So he's like, job, this crisis averted type kind of situation. Now it's just a matter of getting down to business.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Sure, go for it. He's not really hiding it. He's actually has a smile on his face.
That's a 17 total.
Yeah. And in response to him, you're not going to have any problem out of me. I'll just keep quiet. I like being quiet. We'll go see about that bunny rabbit after our dreams and see if she's got anything to say.
what do you mean by that?
You were here and gone. She's in the barracks. Sleep in there, have a little chat with her.
And what will this chat partake of?
Asking her what happened. Maybe she knows where my wife's at. Any information.
All right.
I don't know if you heard the whole story. It sounds kind of like she survived to the force of most strength.
That is my Genevieve. She uses what she has and the skills that were given to her by Sanus.
What skills those?
No skills of pleasure.
Oh,
I believe I've told you Genevieve's occupation.
She did work for Miss Bell for a time, Mr. King.
I don't mean any disrespect. When you said skills given to you by your god, I didn't know if she made flesh things or something.
Oh, no. That is solely my blessing. Genevieve's blessing is more of
Prostituting.
yes,
All right.
pleasures of the flesh.
Nothing wrong with that. Honest word.
I most certainly agree. I do love my Genevieve and her work.
So does that mean when we go back to town that we are taking a rest, or as restful as we can, if we do have these dreams? We agreed to wait. Sorry.
If we go back to town, we were not there before. Still sitting there drumming, tapping. Weren't there before. So it'll bring us some attention.
Who wasn't there before?
Miss Bell, myself, Mr. King, or
Both of you
Oh,
were
Mr. King.
outside the bar.
I was in a John.
Not to mention, everybody's so tired. I don't think anybody's really paying much attention to the next person. We may get a couple of looks here and there from being out of town, but
My
Easily.
presence would most definitely be noticed.
You can always go back and jog.
Sheriff, do you think that you could lead Sarah Bell, Miss Bell, and Mr. King to a safe place where the four of you could wait it out? Do you think that folks would be going back to your building? Would they suspect that?
Probably not. I couldn't tell you frequently if they've checked to see if I've survived since they shot the place up.
Mr. Dotry, you did take a look about of that space. Did you get a sense that folks were hanging out there after the fact?
No, not at all, madam. It was quite empty, as a matter of fact. If you would like me to take you there, Sheriff, I can very much do so. I'll escort you there, and underneath a cloak of night, and possibly a physical cloak as well, if you have one on your person. I think we will get through just fine.
I
only need to
agree.
be in the public eye for a short while. That I can rectify.
Right. So that covers our bases. Those of us who've been seen about go back to the cracked cot. Those of us who've just arrived or need to hide go to the jail. Hide out there for the evening. We come back and meet up,
If I may,
make a plan. Yeah.
I do believe that there is strength in numbers. And I do think that at least our very group here, with the exclusion of the sheriff, need to keep together. Sheriff,
I agree. Oh, sorry.
Sheriff, if you're amenable to that idea, we will exile you to your old location just for the time being.
I think that's reasonable. Trying to. He just kind of gestures to like the carts and stuff. Trying to get vehicles through the town to my office would be more difficult. There are, I hesitate to call them watchmen, but there are eyes and ears about at night,
Well,
keeping an eye out for the monster.
it just so happens that I have been invited to a gathering of the Radiant Church right outside town. They're right beside your lovely office. So I, as well as
So they
my
are.
beloved, can take our small horse and wagon, fairly unassuming, parking outside there, and you sneak out into the cloak of night when you see it most opportune, if that works for you.
I can make my way there just fine, not to worry. Long as the plan is not for me to dally about out in the streets. I can conceal, edit my appearance magically for about an hour. Not to
I
worry
don't-
on that front.
I don't think we are planning on dallying anytime soon, Sheriff.
Good.
About what time is it, give or take, right now?
At this juncture, let's see.
Yes. As we are, what time will be getting to town, kind of thing?
You'll haul them out in the evening. Didn't hustle on out that way either. So I mean, by this point, y'all be getting into town probably close to like 11-ish, I would say.
Yeah, I'll after there's maybe a bit of silence and planning, Clive will kind of bark up and say, "Well, I guess since this might actually work out, y'all ought to know that hanging out with me might not be best to your long-term living without holes in you. If them folks or people got a good idea who I might be and who my wife might be, there might be more coming for us. So we laid low for quite some time, but we're wanted individuals, and yeah, it is what it is."
Mr. King, you are not the only one. So we have joined our cot to yours, so to speak, and I think it will be just fine.
Well,
If
there's a difference in between being wanted and being justly wanted. One thing's for money, could be others for revenge. Many folks for revenge. Not that I was a dishonest person, but to be frank, I killed a lot of people. Didn't think twice about it.
any of them children?
Only when I was.
Fair enough.
Forgivable sin.
So
We all
once
have
we get
done
to
what
the
we must.
Once we arrive back at the town, shall myself and my friend here gestures at Miss Flesh McCraftyson, shall we go ahead and set up? Yes,
Professor. Professor, I think that we're gonna take a nap. I think the plan is to take a nap.
Indeed, but if we're going to be doing anything actively in the morning or later at night, I need to already be in position before people start moving around again.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're the plan, as I remember, is that I was going to go investigate the mayor's place after the dream happens in the bit of pre-dawn darkness, and I think now it might be best to go to the barracks and see if I can't touch base with Genevieve, see if we can get information from her.
And the mining barracks, correct me if I'm wrong, they're in town? Okay,
They're on the edge of town.
gotcha.
Kind of similar situation as to how good gracious how Crystal Grit is.
Mhm.
Like the place where the miners stay is in town, and where that's all organized is in town. But then the mine itself is a little ways away.
Basically, what Geist was getting at is confirming that we are taking the majority of our actions after Nightmare Hour.
Nightmare era.
Hour is what I was intending to say.
Hour.
And that either needed to be in position before or immediately after. But before people start acting within the town, whenever
Right.
that would be, is when he needs to be posted up.
Yeah, not first dawn, before dawn, pre-dawn.
Prior to your activities within the town is the only stipulation. If anyone's going to need my help.
Can someone refresh my memory where we are all going to take this nap?
Y'all got rooms, right?
We
Hey,
have the room. Right. The professor and I got out of our room through the window. I think that we could get everybody to hang out in there for those who need a space.
Also, with our brief conversations with the barkeep, I don't think Picton is a very sought out town at the moment, so he probably has rooms open.
That's something along those lines exactly when we were inquiring.
I'll skirt through the window.
It might be best if I go through the window as well.
I can speak to Mr. James. We know each other slightly and are friendly. I can ask him about perhaps the second room.
Quick question for all of you: What do you plan? How do you plan on explaining coming from the direction of recent gunfire?
I was planning on skirting around and getting back in the way that we departed.
What?
He left out the window. He gonna go back in the window.
Right. Y'all are currently just riding towards town. I think that's the question of like, are y'all lying or y'all sneaking in?
Geist is sneaking in because he wasn't seen to leave, so he needs to not be seen coming back. So.
How many gunshots were actually fired? Guy shot one.
One very large shot
from the.
He fired quite a few times. Geist then fired a couple of revolver shots. Callie also fired a hunting rifle. I believe you fired.
Correct.
shots.
So
Bigger shot from your rifle.
Like 3
Yeah.
to 5 shots.
I think I had 2 rounds, so I think I shot 5 times.
I think it's simple enough to say that we encountered one of your rock elementals.
Don't leave back too much evidence. Just looks like rocks. Plenty of those out here.
Also, we didn't have to have killed it. We just ran it off. We were assaulted by one on the road coming this way. Not a very far-fetched lie, if you ask me.
Even more believable. We didn't run it off. It ran us off. Or no.
Absolutely. I think that will also explain our hurry to go ahead and get to our rooms and get some rest after such a stressful experience.
No room. So, final rundown. Geist is sneaking back in.
I'm just riding back in.
And the rest of you guys are just riding in. All of you, including Clyde.
No, Clyde's gonna get sneaky when we get into this, like, closer to town, like a couple of football fields away. He's gonna tuck back into John and probably. Well, I guess currently I'm riding with.
Back in the John.
Currently I'm riding with Miss Bell, so I'll hop over to John and hop inside him, and then
So Clyde's gonna
scurry into the
hide.
window. Yeah.
Geist is gonna sneak all the way in. Rest of everybody is gonna just go on in.
About 10 minutes before we get to town, Cerebell will vomit over the side of John,
Gross.
and then just kind of slump and be pretty quiet. But John will go back to cart form.
Right. I figured. So okay, that being the case, gonna get a stealth check from Clyde and Geist. Nat 1. So that's fun.
His legs are sticking out of John.
This is just a tail. Just like,
I'm sorry, my cart's a furry.
hold up.
I don't know if it matters with that, but Alistair would not be going into the cracked cart. He could be going into town, but not into the cracked cart.
Right.
He'd just be getting his horse and wagon.
Right.
We'll see if
So
that
that
happens.
I can't help a natural one. It is what it is.
make sure I just circle that. And what was Geist's stealth check?
22.
22. That's a lot better.
Will I need to roll a stealth to climb in through the window?
Potentially.
Okay.
You just rode out. So
Correct.
You
Yeah.
just rode out of town. So it's perfectly feasible that, we just missed her walking out the front door. Like, weird things have happened. Because you and Belle just kind of went out. Y'all did not, y'all weren't trying to hide your departure from, if I recall correctly.
No, we just, at least I took my horse and sort of went the long way round, which, it's not much of a long way round. I just didn't go down the main road. I
Long
went
way
around.
around might be a big, it might be a little bit of an overestimation as a statement. But okay, cool beans. So everybody else riding in, Geist steps off. So y'all are approaching. So, and since the 2 carts and a couple horses can't exactly stealthily approach, especially because John makes wonderful noises as a cart. Ugh. But approaching, Geist going off around to go out of there. You guys are greeted by a bit of a welcoming committee. So you do see a handful of whoop. That's not what I meant to do. A handful of individuals who are kind of posted up near the road. Looks about 4 at this time. But as you approach, you do see one step forward and is Oddly enough, another one is, I don't know. I just realized that I do this fairly frequently. One of the a little more lesser seen races, but probably one of the lowest, like the most survivable here within your Cryptodol, is a quite tall Aarakocra. Aarakocra. Dark feather with a bright, like, kind of crest, almost in like a bit of a mohawk on top. But does step forward and call out to the lot of you. God damn it. I meant mostly in that it was like the crest kind of went back along the center of his head, but sure. But does call out to all of you. It's a bit late to be coming in town.
Are we being
It's a
turned
bit
away?
late. Oh, I was gonna say it's a bit late to be staying out of town.
I agree. It was reported that there was a bit of gunfire a while ago.
Oh
Out
my
that
law,
way.
yes. One of those rock elementals, one of those earth elementals came out, and we, luckily, my companions were able to shoot their guns and scare it away.
Roll a deception check.
Can I assist her by
Yeah,
just
someone can
bursting
easily
into
grant
tears?
her. Jesus, yeah. Assistance can be granted.
It was a dirty 20, and so I don't
Very
know what
nice.
assistance you gave me, but add that to the dirty 20.
You get to roll again. I'm giving you an advantage.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing the thing where when women cry and people are like, please don't cry. Go away. I don't want to deal with it.
It's dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
I was about to say he raises an eyebrow. He's a bird man. They don't have eyebrows. One eye opens a little
One
bit. His crest, his like eyebrow crest thing, kind of go in that ballpark of his face. I'm assuming that they can have facial expressions. Kind of raises a little bit. More of an rare occurrence nowadays, all things considered. Lucky enough that you all escaped unscathed, it would seem.
We consider ourselves quite lucky, and I, for one, am quite eager to see Mr. Olin's cracked cot and have a drink and hopefully a room
I'm sure.
to
Can
settle
we-
my nerves.
Can we go now? I'm terribly travel sick.
Just a moment, my love. I'm sure
Can
these
you roll
nice
a
gentlemen are
deception
going to
check
let
for
us
me?
by. She really is sick.
Not travel sick.
No.
Is any of
I'm
this
also
visible to
rolling.
Geist?
Huh?
Is Geist aware of any of this that's going on?
I figured you made a good point to circumvent the direct
Oh, yeah.
entrance to the town, but
Yes,
Yes,
he
sir.
would have, but I didn't know if he would be able to see them getting like waylaid at the edge of town. You said there's not very many buildings.
yeah, there's not a ton. I mean, roll a perception check wouldn't be that hard, I suppose, if you were trying to actively keep an eye on your companions.
That is a natural 20, which would
Yes.
be more
You-
useful
you would
on
see.
a.
3.
Wish it had been for combat.
3?
Oh well.
He kind of looks you over. High low.
Hi.
DM, before this gets too much further progressed, I want to clarify that if he saw they were being waylaid, he would have found a shady spot to keep an eye on things just to make sure it didn't pop off, made sure his rifle was out and ready.
Ian, what do I recognize any of these people?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
No. You see, like, you got the Aarakocra, you got a couple guys. One has a longer rifle that he's kind of carrying in his arms, and one that has a revolver that he's keeping like his coat clear of, and then one more in the back that is just kind of watching. But once again, the Aarakocra travel sick. Well, I will hope that you don't get travel sick again while you're here in town. You understand?
Oh.
That kind of travel cause problems. And we don't want no problems, do we?
Do I get the sense that he knows what the fuck?
He rolled a medicine check and rolled really high. So if not exact details, he seems to be dropping like
Travel sick.
travel sick. Like he knows you did drugs and he's being like, don't do that shit here.
Yeah, I just need to clean my car and I need to go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
I'm not here to bother nobody.
Right on. Let's begin to pass through. You didn't mention that one of your companions fell in this battle with a rock elemental. You guys are going back, and he gestures to like a foot sticking out of the back of John.
Whose foot? Oh, the fucking
Block,
foot.
natural one.
I forgot.
It's
I
just
forgot
a
about
John
the natural
foot.
one. Yeah, I thought John just had a foot drag. It's like,
No,
God damn it,
there's
John.
a cat foot
Okay.
stuck out the back of John. I will say, I mean, you were trying to hide, so it's probably like not a whole leg, but yeah, like a bit of a foot hanging out the back of the cart.
Foot just
Pull it back in.
Yeah.
Well, not so fallen.
We didn't. Good night.
It was his
It's
nose.
how you travel on this cart.
So are you all right?
Yeah, it's got a whole bed in here. It's real nice.
It's
13.
It's magic shit.
Perception.
Can I aid him by saying it's magic shit?
I don't know if your word would be particularly helpful right now. However, he does just kind of nod. Well, then you all best get on. Dangerous out there at night, worse than earth elementals. Prowling.
Jill's gonna pull out like a little wax paper packet of like cake that had been prepared that she had brought, and she's gonna
This is like
Look at him and
week-old
say-
cake.
shush. It's the West, whatever. That's fresh. As far as he's concerned,
Only a
good
little
shit.
stale.
Right? That's fresh. Right? It's good when you dunk it in coffee. You got to dunk it in coffee, right? So anyway, but she'll turn to him and be like, "Thank you so much. So we will be hurrying right on to the crack cod and a little something to help y'all, as you give you a little fortitude as you pass by. Next time you're on Crystal Grit, please do stop by the sunrise."
Sweet dreams.
She's regular, she had packs and make up a bunch of goodies and stuff before she left. So it's just plain. There's nothing wrong with it.
He just kind of. I'll be sure to do so. Thank you. You all said you'll stay in the crack cart. Well, I guess there's not much else places to stay. Give Mr. Olin my regards, I suppose.
We certainly will. And your name, sir?
Rollins. Good night.
Why, thank you, Mr. Rollins. I will let Mr. Olin know. Have a good evening, sir. Yeah. And she'll just move on.
I guess after we go like a few John turns.
Worth noting, I forgot to specify this. Walden did cast disguise self once y'all were shortly, not too far from town, turned into just some dude. Looks kind of like matching, like something similar, but like in garb to. Oh God, what's your name, Mr. Dotry? Looks maybe like an assistant.
Yeah, after we get a little bit ways down the street, Clyde will just kind of call from the back of John. Who the fuck was that busybody? Anybody?
He just kind of, Walden does say, one of those folks keeping watch that I told you about. That was, I believe, our Kokoro Rollins. One of
First name Henry.
Luke, I believe. God damn it. one of Granger's lieutenants. Probably got called out that way himself once gunshots were heard. Keeping an eye out.
You think they will be going and investigating?
Tonight? No. Tomorrow? Mayhaps. I would not dilly-dally.
Just you like that word dilly dally? Just
I said just dally earlier. I didn't say the dilly part.
First name Dilly, last name Dally. Do we?
Next
That
character.
was you, old deputy of mine, perished far too young.
He was dilly dally. I got
Very sad.
time stop.
All we left out there, just for my recollection, would and for
Two
the party.
corpses.
I think we brought a corpse with us.
Nope. Kicked out of the cart on the way.
I missed that part.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Two
took that
corpses.
bitch off the cart after I did my ritual.
Are those still recognizable bodies after your ritual?
The
Yeah.
other one isn't because they got burnt in a burnt bonfire, is what, right?
Well, I don't think it's going to take like a rocket scientist to figure out who the two missing people in town are.
Also, you would have to fuck up a body really bad for it to not be able to see that it has dragon scales.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one that just got kicked out of the fucking
Correct.
cart.
That's the one that is definitely recognizable as
Oh,
being a
shit.
dragonborn.
This is either a bugbear or a Wookiee.
That's when
Yeah,
you just
it-
hope for a nat 1 on the medicine check.
Hmm.
If
A
anyone
really
goes
big
out
human.
to investigate it, we'll shoot him with
Really
the
long
face.
arms.
Most
Did y'all collect all of their equipment?
Clyde most certainly did not.
I know I had a hold of the staff because Alistair was interested in it.
Anybody collect anything else? Because
We-
he had a revolver and some shots.
Yeah.
She had
Belle
a
would
great axe and a handful of hand axes.
Yeah, Belle would have.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, you
Uh-oh.
said it was a great axe and what?
A great axe and like 3 hand axes.
Most recognizable thing on the Dragonborn is just the slit across the throat, and then just runes carved into the body,
And all of the bullet holes.
and all the bullet holes. But
All of the
it's similar in both bodies. Those.
Regardless of whether they do investigate or not, I'm sure the missing status will be fairly quickly divulged.
Oh yeah, we'll be prime suspects. So we just got to go quick and get this over with.
Hopefully
Or
they
we can
will.
go back out there and, I don't know, add some skills to John or however that shit works.
It's not that simple, unfortunately.
Perhaps some time will be granted to us by the possibility that they might have just pulled a runner.
In a small town, I doubt no one saw that Dragonborn leaving with some of y'all from that saloon or inn or whatever.
That is also true.
Then most certainly we should get this done as quickly as possible after our rest.
I agree.
I'm not so sure that we have time for a rest now, unfortunately. This may expedite with the 2 bodies, at least one now closer to the encampment itself.
One was
What would-
closer to the encampment, one was closer to Crystal Grit because it got kicked off on the road.
It's Crystal.
Oh,
They
we
were
can-
on Mel's way
Goddamn.
in.
Oh shit, that's a long way away.
We ain't gotta worry
Crystal
about that
Grit,
one.
sorry. On the way to Picton. Y'all that it got kicked off while y'all had started traversing back. So one is closer to the town itself, and one was like right at y'all's camp.
It's around 10 minutes closer.
Alistair will pitch a an idea real quick to you guys. Do we think, since we have 4 of them, and I assume since this is like the second half, they're still standing around the entrance right there, or do they like immediately disperse back to somewhere?
They don't immediately disperse. It looks like they're kind of they don't stay clumped up. They start they spread, like they step off kind of to either side of the road to kind of looks like they're planning on keeping watch a little bit longer. How long?
Perhaps we could goad them if they are Granger's men, like you've said. Then we could goad them outside of these walls. The sneakier of us actually going out and setting an ambush a little bit further down the way, and then the less sneaky being the bait and having them follow us out to this ambush area. We could potentially get rid of 4 more of Granger's men in the dead of night.
I don't know about you, Mr. Dotree, but I am almost all tapped out in terms of what.
Somebody roll a perception check for me. You said you kind of glanced back.
10.
I rolled perception, another 21, 19 plus 2.
Hell yeah.
10, you don't really notice. The 21, you do see one of the individuals. You see one hand kind of up towards like the side of his head, and the other kind of gesturing back, kind of catty corner back towards town, and you see his lips moving.
This man's got an earpiece?
Roll an Arcana check.
I didn't see shit.
No, I'm talking about Callie. Roll an Arcana check. Because,
Okay.
I mean, you saw it.
Yeah.
It's not a hard one.
Okay, my Arcana is only a +1, so that is going to be actually, that's not so bad. That's 17.
That
16
more
plus
than
1.
that. I mean, also, long exposure to lots of things arcane, growing up with with your father being a prominent figure of the consortium. This dude's casting probably message. Cantrip. Not, like I said, not complicated magic, but he is communicating.
Okay.
Alternatively, we could try to get that Rollins fella and maybe frame him for doing the deed if you said he's a lieutenant or something. But we gotta do it before he starts telling somebody.
Friends, we should make our way into a less conspicuous space. I don't think that they're going to take too kindly if we dawdle here in the streets right now.
I assume we're just riding through the streets right now. I
figured y'all were heading not
Yeah.
in
Okay.
town.
Too
To
much
have an
traffic.
extensive conversation, y'all would have to be moving almost conspicuously slowly.
Right. That's what I'm saying is it's like I feel like these like by the time we had this entire conversation, we would have already gotten
Y'all
to
are
the
getting
cracked
ready
cart.
to turn like towards the cracked cart, and Walden. There we go. Fucking forgot his name. I was like, that's not his name. Therefore, the plans that are going to involve not waiting until morning. Now would be the time, because if I'm gonna split over toward and nip into the sheriff's office, I need to go straight.
All right, well, you go straight. We're gonna get some shut-eye. If that Rollins fella, I don't know, maybe tells his boss that there might have been a tabaxi in the back of John from seeing my foot hanging out, damn hole. Silvershot might put 2 and 2 together. So I'd sleep with one eye open in case he wants to decide to end this whole dust up before it starts.
I assume you're wearing boots.
No,
He ain't got no shoes on.
I can't climb.
Grippers out.
Puss
For
not
free,
in
huh?
boots.
No,
Puts not
hanging
but
out.
for free. He gets better traction.
You don't gotta climb sea with boots. What is this nonsense?
That's true. Unless you're like a vampire, and then just
You don't get claw damage if you got boots on.
Hey, you
Hands
got boots on your
stick out,
hands? What the
dumbass.
fuck? I'll look over towards the sheriff and say, Sheriff, you can ride with me. Like I said, I plan on riding that way anyways, and it's better safe than sorry. You alone on these streets is a bad look.
Well, I would
Looking
also
different
say
or not.
that well, never mind. Y'all go do what you're gonna do.
No, I think that before everybody departs, I think the best thing that we do is follow the plan of after we have the nightmares. We should find a spot to meet. Where should we go?
What
Y'all
about
said
this?
y'all had rooms in this inn or whatever. One room. Meet in that room. It's got a window.
Okay.
How's this complicated?
I'm
That house.
I'm just trying to make sure that we're all on the same page.
We're all going to the same thing. So we will all meet in Callie's room.
Where the hell are
Callie
the
and the
rest of you
professor.
going?
Oh, I'm going to acquire a room. I don't
Oh, okay.
believe I could. I don't believe I could inconspicuously climb through a window in the crack cart.
I'm just talking about Mr. Dotree,
Mm.
Mr. King. He has other plans, which is just fine. I just want to make sure that we know what we're doing. Is all.
And we do have the signals.
Right.
We may want a second place, just in case we need to leave the crack cart. Why don't we go to? I mean, that
We
as
should
much
all
as I don't.
we should all be in one place. There's a good chance that first light someone's going to go out there and find them bodies. And this ain't the law. This is a group of murderers. They're going to try and find who killed folks in their employee, and they ain't going to be happy about it. So, I imagine we might be woken up with some pretty irate folk.
And if a large enough posse rolls up, then we need to leave. We can't stay and fight a ton of men. I don't know how many could possibly roll up that we could fight, but just in case, if we have a secondary location we can fall back to, that may be a good idea.
Sheriff Walden,
Now,
any ideas on where that secondary location might be?
Sheriff's office. Sounds good to me.
You just need a rallying point. I mean, the sheriff's office is
Defensible location.
defensible.
Sounds like it
Depends on your
didn't.
definition of defensible.
Sounds
What
like
about-
it didn't go so hot the first time around.
What about the church?
That's my
We
point,
didn't know
Mr.
they were
King.
coming. The church is a bit. It's barely more than. It's not even like a small barn.
They got a castle in this town.
What?
What one that we missed?
Right. Well, I
No.
mean, there ain't really too many defensible places you can get bullets go through wood pretty good.
The most solidly built building is probably the mayor's house.
Where Granger is currently inhabiting with your beloved wife, Mr. King. So
Mm.
maybe we
Cellars,
go out.
something underground.
This-
Anything.
There's nothing. I mean, there's the mines.
The mines are outside of town, not on the city.
It would be a bit of a jog. But getting there, presumably, I mean, they haven't been out to the mines in a while. It's too dangerous. Too many folks been going missing.
And you went out to the mines after you got shot, right?
Yes, and spent not a lick of it sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And when you were out there, you didn't see no signs of folks frequenting that place doing necromancy deep in some mines or this, that, or the other.
Like I said, they hadn't left.
This chat is happening in the alleyway
I was like,
behind.
y'all are sat in at the corner, like you turned and y'all are like, oh, y'all are trying to mock Southern goodbye, like, oh, you guys drive safe 20
All
feet
right.
down that road while I go this way.
The sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Probably one of the other most sturdy buildings will be the saloon itself, and like the general store. There's not most of the places are. I mean, nothing is going to be. Nothing here is built to be a defensible location.
Right.
Agreed. And we are just trying to find a rally point, not a place to make a last stand. So
All
Very
right.
well. Sheriff, if you will, hop on up. You may find this wagon a bit more, maybe not as comfortable, but in one way or the other.
Definitely more.
I will lean down to John and say, he don't mean it.
I do.
Thumbs up. Middle finger.
So we've got everybody minus Dotree and the sheriff heading to the crack cart.
basically
And you
buy
two are
things out.
heading. What was that? was that, Belle?
I'm sorry. Is Geist still outside of town, or did he meet up with
Geist
us? At some point?
presumably, it sounded like after he stopped to keep an eye on you guys when he noticed that y'all were being waylaid, and then I presume he proceeded on to climbing in the window
He is probably already there.
and just sitting there like,
He's
dude,
in there waiting.
taking these guys so long. Holy,
Yeah, it's like
fuck, not
considering
that
going
far.
and
Walking
checking
outside the window.
He's over there, like, what are they doing out there? But easy enough. I mean, like I said, the center of town is relatively deserted, so y'all are unharassed. But you split up. So, is everybody trying to sneak in through the window into Callie and Geist's room? Is that my understanding? What the fuck is
No.
going on here?
No, Belle's just gonna go. Belle's
Just gonna
Belle
walk
and
in?
Gus. Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna walk in and talk to the barkeep
Talk
and
to
ask for a
Olin.
room. Yeah, we're gonna
it
talk
is.
to
I
Olin
mean,
and ask
it's
for
like
a room.
11. It's still relatively. I say crowded is a strong word, but I mean there are folks in here. They obviously haven't closed up shop. But if you're just getting a room, is easy enough to do. Olin's is a little bit late for it, but all right.
Well, it got darker quicker than we thought, and well,
Just raises an eyebrow, but does not ask any questions. Like it's 11 o'clock at night. Whatever. Gives you a room key.
it got late faster than I had planned for. Time did get away from me today,
Dangerous.
and I
place.
believe it absolutely is. So I decided it was more wise to turn around and ask you for a room. We did meet a Mr. Rollins, Gus and I.
He's kind of
He said to give you
Yeah.
his regards. Who is that gentleman? It was a bit standoffish.
talking about Rollins.
Hmm.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Persuade? He was standoffish. Don't try to be my buddy.
I'm not
That's all
saying
it
a
is.
deception. I'm saying roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, phew, that was a 17. For a second, I thought it was lower than that. Okay, wait, so hang on. That was 17 plus 1, so 18.
18. Yeah. He just kind of looks at you. Between you and me is Miss Bell, and not anybody that you would like to get involved with.
I agree. Thank you,
Dangerous
sir.
fella. So was his friends.
I will take that to heart, sir.
So you guys now have 2 rooms. Callie?
I
What's
knock
up?
on the window and like ask the professor for help up.
Uppies.
Up you go.
Oh. Uppies.
Belle would have asked
Uppies.
James Olin for a drink. She would have asked him, like, do you mind refilling my flask, sir? I will pay for the flask to be refilled. Thank you.
He will do so.
So I'll roll up in the room, hopefully next to them.
There are very few rooms to pick from, so yeah.
Easy peasy.
Cerebel's also asking for uppies.
You are 6'4".
What the
Big
fuck
girl.
type of
Up
window
we
is
go.
this?
Oh,
It's
God.
not that high. It is not. You're sitting there with like the windowsill is like maybe at the top of your rib cage. You're like, help me up.
That's because you wait. So this is first floor, right? It's not.
There is
two
not
story?
a second floor.
It
to
is
the
Okay.
the
building.
first
Okay,
floor.
that's
There's
that's what I was
stairs
imagining.
that go to like a terrace kind of situation at the very front, but there's no second floor. That's like a sitting area or something if you want to sit upstairs, like outside.
Cerebel's on the come down. She just wants some help. She needs somebody to drag her through the window.
Yeah, I was like, the reason Callie needs help. She's like 5'5". She's not very tall.
I mean, that the windowsill is still only coming up to like your chest.
Right, but the way I don't have to explain myself.
You don't have to explain. Still,
I do
you
need
you
help.
require more assistance than the Amazonian satyr.
Yes.
But it's easy enough for you guys to get in.
With
What-
a 17 strength check, Clyde helps turn it through the window.
Yeah, see, the dog did need help. The dog needed help getting through the window.
He's got his paws up there. Clyde's just standing on the windowsill.
Yeah. That room is crowded, by the way. Very, very quickly crowded. Because the only person who went and got a separate room was Belle.
I'm gonna be glad for my second room.
Clyde and Turnip will be happy to sleep under a bed.
I was just about to say that Cerebell will sleep under the bed.
There's like 2 twins in there, and that's
Hell yeah.
already a lot of furniture for this room. So y'all have now put a whole lot of ass in a not very large room. So y'all are just kind of sitting there. That's where y'all are. Belle has went and gotten to her room. I'm assuming, are y'all planning on doing anything, or y'all gonna try to sleep like this?
Clyde's just gonna immediately go to fucking sleep.
Okay.
Belle would have knocked on the door to see if anybody wanted to sleep in the extra bed in her room.
Weirdly quickly goes to sleep, like one of those sort of trained kind of, hey, I had to stay up and do this, I might not get to sleep again type kind of things. Like, he's been in situations to where you have to just be able to fall asleep and get what you can. And so he's like a minute and a half and he's done. He got 3 pets in the turnip and he's out.
Okay. All right. So he's crashing the fuck out. The rest of you guys are in there. Is everybody else following the same philosophy of try to get what sleep you can? Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
There whole lot of ass in that room, Travis.
So,
2 twin matches.
Belle made the offer.
Are we going to watch, or are we just all going to sleep? Kind of gesturing at Mr. King, already KTFO.
Yeah.
Can cats
Callie-
snore? Cats can snore.
Cats definitely snore.
They snore just in a weird way.
Callie looks over at the professor and says, "If you'll let me get some shut-eye in, so I can get some of my magic back, I could relieve you for you to take a quick nap as well."
Well, watch it is.
All right. Cool. Okay.
When Belle goes back to her room, because apparently nobody wants to sleep in there.
You got a whole
She
room
gets
to
to go
yourself.
back.
Hell yeah.
I know. It's gonna be peace and quiet. Yeah. So before she lies down, I mean, she's not dilly-dallying, but she also
Good word.
historically has
Good
trouble
word.
going to sleep. It is. It's a great word.
It's a good word.
So she'll pull out her deck of cards and kind of lay out some solitaire. She's just kind of playing with the cards a little bit, drinking out of the flask, not getting drunk, but having a few swigs to try to ease herself, and then she'll, after a few minutes, then she'll get in bed and knock out, and Gus will hop up there and right at her feet.
Right. Nice. Okay. Mr. Dotry. You're traveling with Miss Agatha and the sheriff.
Yep.
Not super far. Getting to the point where you've got what remains of the sheriff's office. I say what remains like it's fucking demolished. The sheriff's office with some extra holes in it, and less glass on your left, and you've got the church, air quotes,
Across
on
the
your
street
right.
from each other, right?
Yep, across the street
Okay.
from each other.
All right, cool. I'll pull around behind in an alleyway or something like that with the horse and everybody, and I'll let Sheriff
Kind of pull
Walden
off to the side. Yeah, there's an alleyway. There's some houses that are on the far side of both, but easy enough to kind of. Whoop.
Mechanically, I know I need to do these things separately. Narratively, I'm just gonna say, darling, go over there and look around and hang out near the church and see if any I know it's very early for this because they're meeting at 1 or 2 in the morning, and
Correct.
see if anyone early shows up. Sheriff Walden, if I can have some words with you, I'll escort you in. and escort him into the back of the sheriff's office.
Surely. Sorry, I got all blurry. Bam. Yeah, so Agatha, of course, my dear, steps off, swishing non-suspiciously. But you and Walden go in through the kind of fucked up back door. He just kind of glances around, gives it a cursory once over. He's relatively satisfied. So, what was you wanting to ask?
Let's see. No, I didn't have anything extra on there, so I'm not gonna give him anything. Actually, I was gonna say I was give him a couple of like amenity type things, like maybe like a pillow or a small blanket or something for in here. But I'll look at him and say, Sheriff, I do just wanted to have a quick word with you about the miscommunication we had earlier today. The terrible
That's a word
accident
for it.
it was that you were shot in the heat of battle. I just want to make sure that such an accident does not come to bite the entirety of this group in the ass when we are attempting to put you back in your rightful place as sheriff for this town.
He waits for you. He just looks at you.
I'm waiting for a response to that, Sheriff.
I'm waiting for you to elaborate on what you want.
I don't want you seeking
Speaking
retribution.
clearly.
I don't want you to seek retribution for the shot that you took earlier. You cast an aggressive spell on one of ours, and our dear friend, Mr. Morgan Barrington, responded in kind. You are equal. And as a writer, let me say, the vengeful sheriff is an overdone motif.
I seek to enforce the law as best I can out this far. That unfortunately means working with folks that are less scrupulous at times. I seek no revenge, but I will watch him and your cultist, or whatever she is.
Watch with all the eyes that you want to, but do keep in mind, there's other people that mean you more direct harm than our little group of misfits.
And that is why the shot has passed with but a brief season of weaponry. Do not worry.
Wonderful. I'm so glad we could come through and understand. You have a good night, Sheriff. Stay safe.
You and your friends as well. So what you doing? You just stepping back out? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Oh shit! And punch my mic on the way out, and then I'm gonna. I am going to go ahead and pull the horse and cart around. I'm gonna find a back alleyway behind, and just make sure there's an alleyway behind the church, as it were. A couple of buildings somewhere we could find.
I don't know if I would call it an alley. Yeah, these are kind of the ends of where the end where the sheriff's office and the church are at. There's, like I said, there's a small scattering of buildings on the other side of them, and that's kind of like that's that end of town, more or less. But so there are openings, and there's open space behind the church, easy enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, I'll just pick up Agatha and be like, oh, I must have gotten the time wrong, and then just bring the horse and cart around there just to make sure I can circle it fully behind the church and everything. And scope it out for any sort of interesting features or anything.
Yeah, and you wanted Agatha to have like stuck her head in, or just kind of like walked around?
Yeah, she could have stuck her head in if it's open to the public like that. Some churches are, some are. I don't know about this one.
Like I said, church, very strong word for this place.
Yeah. Church building, place of worship.
Place of worship. Yeah, right. So I mean, and that would be, I guess, an investigation check or a perception check.
Okay. Investigation. My investigation is better. I will go with that. That was a wild roll. That's a 7 + 5 or a 12 total.
12. I would just say, kind of like looking around for people. There appears to be. I mean, basically, it would have been pretty briefly easy to check. Like the door wasn't locked, but sticking your head in, there was only the gentleman that you spoke to previously. Good gracious, Kincaid, Russ Kincaid, who was in there and appeared to have been like neatening up the place and basically seeing that it's like the one building churches. You'll see like in rural Georgia and stuff, maybe a little bit bigger than that because it looks like it was converted from like maybe a barn or like maybe a bit of a storeroom. They're like chairs that have been wrangled up, like they don't really match. A couple like benches and things, and he appears to be like he was neatening up things, and he just were told they're like, "Oh my dear, not being quiet yet. I'm still getting things ready. But I mean, if you have nowhere else to be, of course you can." Have a seat, but we are not meeting for hours yet, kind of thing. My cat is harassing me. But aside from like looking for interesting features, I mean, you don't. What do you mean by interesting features? Is there anything specific that Dr. is looking for?
I don't think anything too specific. Any sort of like storage cellar that this place may have or anything. Nothing too specific.
Yeah, it like I said, it looks like this building may have been a storage building itself, so it doesn't have its own cellar. But no, nothing particularly notable. Like it's like outside of like I said, there was no like sign or anything really deliberately marking this place as a house of worship for the Radiant, aside from like a temporary like sign that had been very freshly added, where somebody had kind of done their best to etch out the symbol, like the hands holding the sun.
Gotcha.
But other than that, no notable like visuals with the 12.
Okay. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is take a little ride. Probably take the scenic route on the way back to the cracked cart and look for just the abandoned part of town or some abandoned buildings that are on the outside of town, something like that. Any sort of like abandoned shacks or sheds or anything.
Okay.
The main thing I'm looking for is so that sound does not carry.
Interesting. Roll one more investigation check for me.
Better. 15 + 5 for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very nice. Also go ahead and call high-low for me.
Always high.
Always high. Okay. Managing to take a fairly direct route and not seeming to gather much more than a passing glance, because I will say it's fairly easy to see, like, you do know like watchers, like they're all out kind of on the perimeter of town, but you do see that like posted up every now and then, like 1 to 2 individuals kind of all seeming to be mostly keeping their eyes outward. But none of them seem to give you much more than kind of like an over-the-shoulder glance when they hear your cart. But looking for a bandit. Say you do see a couple different like smaller buildings that look like you're pretty sure that there's not just people asleep in them. That looks like maybe they've been recently vacated. You had been told by the sheriff that there have been some casualties. Some people had gone missing. They had gone missing in the night before everything kind of got locked down to prevent that exact thing happening. Sound carrying, none of these buildings look particularly soundproof. Depending on how soundproof you need them.
In the corner, so sound doesn't really like travel out or something like that. But yeah,
there's some that they're like kind of in the ones that you spot. I'll say with going with the high, like they were closer to the edge. Okay. So basically, that their distance from the center would be your best bet. They still have some neighbors, but I don't know how soundproof you're wanting. Like what kind of sound are you looking to block out, kind of deal?
I got you. I'll find the most suitable one. Something that I think will block the most sound, and whatever work it requires from me, I'll think about it.
Okay. Are you intending to stay there, or are you just kind of marking it?
Nope, just noting it and going on
Noting it?
back to the. I'm not gonna go inside the crack cart. We're just gonna stay the night in the horse cart.
In the cart, so you just kind of park and
Yep.
then and say, okay, easy enough. Alrighty. Fun and exciting. So we've got folks basically crashing out for the evening. Question about how much time would you be spending kind of investigating, like taking a look around at the church itself, as well as looking for a abandoned building?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. What's up?
About how much time were you wanting to spend, give or take, doing all that before ending up for bedding down for the night?
That is completely up to you on how much time that takes. Alistair would have.
It's not a super big. The church isn't super big, and then you rolled a 20. So I'd say probably all told, maybe an hour.
Okay. Yeah. So
Does that feel,
up
does that
until
feel fair?
midnight. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all told, about an hour, so close on midnight. Okay, and then did I hear that Geist was planning to keep watch earlier?
Yes,
How
he
long?
is going to keep watch until Callie gets a short rest in. I think was the
A short rest?
mechanical
Just an hour?
shorthand for it.
Okay.
And then swapping.
I like mechanically. I only need to trance to get all of my stuff back.
That's 4 hours, not 1.
I don't know what kind of time frame we're on. So
That's up to you guys. You guys got there around 11. I'll say by the time everybody managed to, I'm assuming y'all were not just trying to crash through the window. So I'll say by the time everybody had gotten their way in relatively stealthily, and the full on took you, it was like 11:30 ish once you guys had decided to bed down. So
I mean, I'm just in terms of usefulness. I think Callie would have said like, if I get my 4 hours, then I have all of my stuff. So
and what time has the nightmare stuff been happening?
it's been variable.
it's been variable, but it seems to be times after midnight.
Noted.
It does seem to be anywhere between like midnight and like 3 or 4 ish.
I mean, I don't think Geist is going to get a full rest in before he has to get to his post anyway. So
So you're trying to keep watch for 4 hours while Callie gets a long rest in with her trance?
I am guessing so.
Take it kindly.
Clyde's rolling until he gets woken up by that nightmare.
Alistair's
Okay.
gonna try to remain awake for the night. Awake for the night with reborn stuff.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be, silent sentrying it.
Yeah, when we get to the cart, I just gotta remain motionless. So when we get back to the crack cart, just in the back of the wagon by lantern light, Agatha's gonna like hold my head back and put some eye drops in my eyes. I'm gonna start seeing shit.
You start vividly hallucinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
for like 4 hours.
You're
Give or
back
take.
in the cart parking, right?
He is back kind of in like the cart parking is a strong word. He's parked like in front of the crack cart.
John's watching.
That's weird. Okay.
Why have a covered cart? So I don't know how close is John getting like looking
He's
up
have
in
eyes.
He throws the eyes in. No. Oh, okay. If it's covered, then never mind.
Okay.
Definitely covered. If not, y'all would have seen a lot more of Alistair than you wanted to at this point.
Anyway, so you are also, going for that, not having to take a full 8 hours long rest vibe since you don't gotta mechanically. Okay. You know what? I want one of you guys roll percentiles for me.
Can I just roll my D100?
That is a percentile, so if you are the chosen roller,
Go for it.
roll
Do
the
it.
golf ball.
Do it. Do it.
The golf ball of the
It
guy.
better be good.
81.
That's definitely good.
That's how many people are coming to get us in a posse.
Oh my god!
That's how many earth elementals are erupting in the middle of the tavern.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
That's how much health you guys lose.
Oh no.
Each.
Right.
Cool, I'm dead.
It's nice
I was
playing
like,
this game
let
with
me get
y'all.
these D6s out and start rolling.
Anyway. Callie and Louise. Callie and Mr. Dotry. You get your long rests in.
Okay.
Before the nightmare dreams, I guess it really depends on who you ask. Before the visions begin. But then they do hit. You're in a very small room, Callie. I want you to make a wisdom saving throw for me. Also, Mr. Dotry, since you are
Wisdom save.
technically like up. You're technically awake. You have the same bonuses that she does into that you can't be magically slipped, if I recall.
You said wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw. Mhm.
Oh shit!
I'm going to be very
17 plus
upfront.
2.
This is basically to see if you're able to stop yourself, like through force of will, from like wandering around.
Oh.
During what is effectively for you guys waking nightmares.
It's going to be a 19 again, 17
19.
plus 2.
That's good.
Same for me. 17 plus 2.
Hey!
Solid. You guys are going to be able to keep your motions to a minimum as best as you can. Probably you like, since y'all are both encased in somewhere, you're not just like out. You feel like you're gonna be able to keep yourselves in there. Like, is how we're gonna roll with that.
Okay.
Would it be too far of a stretch that Alistair and Agatha have like somewhere they could put handcuffs to the card itself? I don't think it would be, right? So we probably
No,
just
I think
handcuff
that's
ourselves
perfectly
down.
reasonable.
Yeah.
You think that was like just in case we hide.
And
Or
they're
it could
fuzzy.
have just been for fun and we got lucky.
Sure.
In both ways. Anyways,
Plot.
Dear God. I will say probably some of you guys that are in that room get kicked a little bit though.
Clyde and I are going to have fucking concussions because we're under the beds.
You're fine.
I'm just gonna.
Bow! But your tall ass is under the bed, so you've got your hooves stuck out from they're just sticking out from underneath the bed. Okay, fair enough. Whatever.
So real quick, DM. So did I complete my short rest, or did I complete my trance, and now I'm on the?
Completed your long rests.
Okay, so then that means I'm on watch, and Geist is taking
Probably
his nap.
you've been on watch for like maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Completed the long rest though.
I yeah.
Guys, I'm just gonna be upfront with you, man. There's no way in hell you're getting a full long rest unless
Oh yeah,
some shit goes wildly. Have you gone ahead and marked the level of exhaustion?
I have not, but I will.
Go ahead, just because otherwise I will forget. But yeah, you guys have fun dreams. It is unfamiliar. It is not a similar scene. It is not the scene of the assault on the fort. You feel different. You still feel that same pulsing, but you don't feel a draw anymore. You feel tired is not the right word for it. You feel less. You do not feel I think less is kind of the word I'm looking for. Like, you don't feel tired. You don't feel, it's not a hunger, it's not a thirst. You just feel less. You feel incomplete. And that same pulsing, but like a radar it's not pinging off of something anymore. And this go around, despite that, not feeling that draw, you fall upon a camp. People sleeping in the desert. They put up a bit of a fight. They were watching. They were keeping an eye out. This place looks. I'll just say with no what's the word I'm looking for? No perception checks needed. This place seems desolate. This does not seem like it is those parts of the desert where it's like cracked clay. It is just dried out. There's like you see little to no vegetation, and this small encampment. And they hit you. They stab you. They fight back. And you feel a little less. A little less, a little more, and a little less. Like the snuffing out of those lives. Just seems almost quiet. That feeling. Ever so briefly. As their lifeblood drains out into this very thirsty ground. What wounds they left on you as they were on guard, closing, almost as the ground is watered. And you exit. As that feeling of being less almost immediately begins to grow again. And you all wake. I say wake. The dream ceases. The nightmare ceases.
During with that wisdom save, was that high enough for me to know myself enough to be a little bit?
Yeah,
okay.
To be more cognizant.
Okay. Could I have used my divine sense during? No. Okay. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right. Which, I mean, I guess quick reminder: everybody roll a wisdom saving throw for me. I'm forgetting my own mechanics I've been using, which was.
Do you need another one from?
No, from you two.
Okay.
7.
7. Fucking lost in it.
2.
Very aware. What was guys?
4.
4. Totally lost in it.
14.
14. Mostly gone. Like I'd said previously, like the shadow of Geist as a person is somewhere in there, but not super hefty.
Okay.
Does it still seem like we're really far in the past, or does it seem more recent?
I get roll a history check for me.
+5. Go. Oh, I'll re-roll that. That's a natural 2.
Natural 2. No fucking idea. I mean, easy enough. I mean, with what you possess yourself, you were still not shot. The weapons of which they defended themselves were still not gunpowder.
Okay.
Like that, regardless of how badly you roll on a history check, that's kind of hard to fuck up.
Right.
Cool. That being said, and you know what I'm gonna do here? I would say 52. A lot is gonna y'all have a lot that you're about to start doing, so I think we're gonna go ahead and take our break here real quick. Just boom, 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 get it out of the way so that we don't have to stop once action starts. And we'll just take a quick bio break, refill waters, empty your bladders, whatever you need to do. That's what we're doing. I recommend you do the same, but leave your computer, leave this screen exactly where it is. Don't move it. Dotry will come for you if you do. That's what that was. That was a threat. Not really. Joking. In Minecraft.
100%. IRL.
Oh.
To your house.
Oh.
With presents.
Hey, we're gonna go. We'll see you guys again shortly. So slightly, not bye-bye, but we'll be back. We'll be back. With malicious intent.
Dilly dally.
Oh, I'm dillying and dallying. Hi, welcome back. We returned again. Those of us that were here a little bit ago, but now. Nice. But those of us that are here that were here a bit ago are still Hard Knock Dice. Specifically with the second half of following the first half of what we were doing a little bit ago, which is Whispers in the Dust. This here Fantasy West campaign. I can't say Weird West, even though it rolls off the tongue so much better because technically that's its own thing. Yeah.
It's in the fucking
Anyway.
logo, so we're gonna say it. Weird West is ours. We're redefining it. We're bringing it back.
Oh, it is on our thing, a Weird West saga. Okay, you know, I will say Weird West.
Yep.
Our Weird West game, god damn it. It is weird and it's in the West. It's true.
We're weird and we're in the West. How about that? Fuck
That
off.
also works.
We're
Anyway.
almost all on the East Coast.
But for anyone joining us after the first half
Yeah,
of the
but we're
session,
west of something.
our party, our scoundrels, are somebody said dust rustlers. Our dust rustlers. They be rustling, they stealing that dust, god damn it. That's not your dust anymore. And we're on their way back to Picton after committing two murders. Committing 2 murders and then a bit of interrogation on the side.
Bringing some folks to justice.
Committing murders. But they killed these dudes, this bugbear and this dragonborn. Last session, they interrogated them. They were on their way back today. And they planning may be a strong word for what they were doing, but they talked briefly about their entrance into the town. They had a game plan on how they were going to lie about the barrage of gunshots that happened earlier in the night. And Geist was going to sneak his way back into his room, just hopping right in through that window, fucking ninja style. They were briefly waylaid at the entrance to the town by Luke Rollins, who is an Arakokra, a lieutenant of Silas Granger, the leader of the Worm Riders, where they had a bit of a conversation about what had gone on. They successfully lied to him about that they had a brief combat with an Earth Elemental, and we're glad to be back in the safety of the town. Also playing off Clyde's natural one on hiding in the cart as being somebody that had taken some injury during this combat and was now having a nap. They headed on in. Most of the party crammed into one bedroom that has 2 twin beds in it and found their best way they could sleep in there. Meanwhile, Belle purchased her own room that nobody bothered to use besides herself. And Alistair Daughtry took the fine sheriff back to the sheriff's office where he could hide for the evening, hopefully going unnoticed, since the people here had tried to murder the shit out of him just a couple days ago. Before he did a bit of a walkabout within the town, investigating this church, air quotes, this place of worship, as well as finding somewhere that he concerningly referred to in his specifications of his investigation check was somewhere that looked like it would be relatively out of the way and soundproof-ish, or at least where noise would not carry too much. He did not elaborate on what he wanted this place for. He simply wanted to make note of it before going back and napping in his cart outside of the cracked cart. They had some fun dreams about slaughtering a campsite of folks who knew what they were doing in a desolate land, while feeling less. And killing this party made them feel less, or more. Whatever, however you put it. This is weird. I'm not sure how to phrase that. Not more or less, but not less more. They felt better for killing people in this dream. Ever so slightly. And that's where we're going to kind of pick up, because I'm going to be very honest with you here, ladies and gentlemen. The intent that was expressed to me previously was that you guys wanted to get up pre-dawn. That is, I think we determined the break's going to be about 6 in the morning. It is going to be, if you're waking up pre-dawn, basically nobody's going to get a long rest except for the 2 that already got it, because they only need 4 hours.
I may have a solution for us there, DM, or at least hopefully. Alistair's up way before dawn.
He is. You have a couple hours.
I got a couple of hours. What if, and I know these guys don't know this, but they're sleeping, having their nightmares, killing me softly with his words.
Trying.
Could I I don't know if I can see the gate from here where our greeting party was, our welcoming party. But if I can't get into a place with just a pipe and a good book and watch them, and as soon as I see them leave town, head back towards our friends here.
in front of the cracked cart, you would not have line of sight on that particular space where you guys entered. I'm double checking my geography here on this map.
You can just show it to us.
No, I can't. Hee hee ho ho. I want to keep it a secret. My map. But at this time, y'all, being in front of the cracked cart, you would not be able to see that area where you entered at. But so would you be moving to try to keep an eye on that, or are you just trying to hang out here and just keep an eye as best you can?
Yeah, I mean, if I need to move a little bit, I'll try to like. You said there was like a terrace on this side, maybe some seating area that could probably
like
see up above
on
some
the
buildings.
front of the building. Yeah, there's some stairways that go up to like a little bit of like a landing that's just like in front.
Can I see the gate from here a little bit better and see those guys?
Gate
kind of over the buildings.
Unfortunately not.
Shit.
Just going based off of these heights here. Granted, that's more of probably a me whoopsie, but you know what? I feel like it evens out with how kind of shitty this fucking.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do what I do best, and I'll try to go talk to people. I'll go talk to the guys on the wall. This is where my character dies, guys. It was good knowing you.
You said wall. Clarify. There's no wall.
Oh, I thought there was a wall. My bad.
No. There's the open ends of the town. The
So
town is not walled in at all.
They're
This
just
is
chilling on the
They were
ground.
just clumped up.
Yeah, they were hanging out like in the areas like near the streets and kind of. It seems like they had clumped up, like seeing you guys approach, but after y'all left, they kind of spread back out, so they were kind of like on the near the edges on the ends.
Gotcha. Fuck.
So have all these, does that mean all these guys have made like a human perimeter around the town? Like, not that we would know that, only Alistair would know that, but
That's what it seemed like, and that he's seen some people kind of keeping watch, like around the town, kind of like they're keeping like I said, there's not a physical wall here. There's maybe some like fences and things,
right.
but no, this place is not like a fort by any stretch. So, clarify. So, is everybody still trying to wake up pre-dawn?
Well,
Geist would be for sure.
Yeah, Geist, I hate to say it, buddy, you're kind of screwed no matter what.
No, that's I've already accepted the level of exhaustion into my life, embraced it, gave it a name. I just need to know if Sarah is joining him.
Right. No, currently we're just using regular for the moment. And I guess, and I don't want to be, and like I said, and this is the thing I often forget personally, is that technically to get a long rest in 5th edition, you only need to be sleeping for 6 hours. So with around the time that we said you guys went to bed, which is around 11:30, you'd only need to be asleep till about 5:30. So it depends on how much pre-dawn y'all are wanting.
I can cut it to 5:30. I rush in there, see what's up. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What is the when does dawn occur, and in this geographical area, this setting, what time do people start getting up and moving? Those are the 2 questions I would need.
I mean, so like we said, sunrise is about 6-ish. Maybe a few minutes later, maybe a few minutes earlier. It's in that like 5:55 to 6:05 range when sunrise is. So, it's starting to get gray-ish by about the time y'all are looking to get up if you want to get a full long rest. Like 5:30, 5:45 is you're starting to get a little light on the horizon.
Guys needs to be in place before people are in the streets. So
yeah, and I mean, the thing is with people, when are people up and about? It depends. It depends on what their job is. Farmers are up at the ass crack of dawn. So, I mean, the farming may be a strong word for things that happen out here, but people do have jobs. You figure that with what you know about the mines being a ways away from the town, that miners probably get up relatively early so that they can get the traveling out of the way. But you also know, they even told not a ton of mining going on right now. And by not a ton, I mean zilch. So the getting an exact handle on when people may be up and about is a little wonky right now because of the situation that this town is in.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're just gonna play it safe and say he's gonna be at one level of exhaustion.
Okay, yeah, you would have to be sleeping till like 9 to get a long rest in. Anyway, because since you stayed up for 4 hours while Callie got hers, you wouldn't have been beginning your rest until 3:30.
Gotcha. That information was for Sarabelle, right?
Yeah, that's for Clyde, Sarabelle, and Belle.
Well, Sarabelle was. I was trying to find out if Sarabelle was going to be joining me on the rooftop.
Yes,
so.
fair enough. Yeah,
That's
up to you guys.
No, he would not then. Just get up like 4, never. Probably shortly after the nightmares. Shake it off. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Let Callie know. Get ready to go. Get in position, and then I told you it was like scouting around earlier, looking for a place. We didn't have the map or anything up at the time, so.
Well, and I guess to clarify, what kind of place were you looking for?
Elevated.
That requires a building.
He is on a rooftop, so he is looking for a rooftop. One that would have like a chimney or a nook, or like where 2 of the peaks meet, somewhere he can kind of lay low and hide from immediate observation down below. And the closer to the center of the main crossroads of the town, the better, so that he can see as much.
And I guess, I was fucking being bitching bloods. I mean, at this juncture, for where we're kind of at planning wise, we should just everyone go ahead and launch in Tailspire. That way y'all can look around for things like this. I'd kind of forgotten they all were trying to do positioning stuff earlier in the day. I don't have anything visible that shouldn't be. I think everything that's supposed to be invisible is invisible.
That's crazy.
What's up?
So that's crazy.
What's crazy?
Need Telspire, but we're not gonna.
I mean, that's where the map is.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Don't forget also, you can make the hide blocks, and you can filter them to characters now. Characters only.
Oh.
I totally forgot about that. God damn it. Can I unhide them in a block if they're already hidden? Is that a thing? Whatever. If I can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am dumb.
Burn that bridge and we get to it.
Let me everybody say when they got it all pulled up. Yes, no, maybe.
I'm at the D's.
Me too.
Everybody's at D's?
Correct.
For context, that is our waiting screen. It's great. It's my favorite thing. Summon players to this board. Hello, my friends. There we go. Oh, y'all don't have ownership of y'all's shit. God damn it.
He's drunk with power.
I'm always drunk. Period.
Always
End of
drunk.
statement. Oh wait, that's not you. That's this guy.
Look at this town.
Look at that town. Look at that town. What'd that town do? God damn it! I fucking forgot. Did I?
Which one is the saloon? The one that y'all
red
all
roof? Kind of sat out in front of. Y'all are more or less across the street from the mayor's house. By the way, sorry.
Is the mayor's house the red roof?
Yes, it is. It is the building that looks the nicest. Nicest may be a strong word, but it is the nicest. Calico Cloud Kelly belongs to Mr. Crosum. Your shadow also belongs to you, sir. Boom, boom. Sickly night. Boom, boom, boom. Say Santo. All right, does everybody own their piece? Also, if anybody is curious, this is Brett Walden. Because I love this fucking model. This is what he gets to be right now. So he's away.
Project D over here.
That is a choice there, my guy.
Little samurai.
So where's the barracks at?
So, if you will look at my lovely depiction, if you guys go straight on the northbound road, at the very end, you see this little square. Those are the kind of barracks situation.
Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot I got God's flashlight. Yeah, God's flashlight right there.
Yeah. All right.
That's where you got your little barracks. Oh, miners and things. like I said, you got the most like solid buildings are here in the very middle, with a little kind of it petering off into more of poorer areas that are more shacks and things on the ends. So, Mr. Geist, these are kind of your options here, my man. I would just like, as a public service announcement, map making, not my strong suit. Mind your business.
For context, you said this red roofed building is the mayor's house.
Yes. This is appears to be the mayor's house.
Where was
unattached.
the church?
Do what?
Where was the church arena?
Right over here. It is on the east side of town. It is this also kind of standalone barn-looking building, and across from it is the sheriff's office. For these two.
So I don't have a god's flashlight, but
you just pick up and move your piece.
Well, I was gonna ask, there's a lot of context stuff I'd be curious about.
Really?
Where I'm moving my character now, there is one building to my right and one building to my left. North is facing directly ahead of me.
North is directly to your right, but yes.
I'm saying.
Your model is facing forward. Okay, sorry, I was looking at your gun. But yeah, north is directly in front of you. You got building to your left, building to your right. Yes.
So he would either be selecting the building on the right or the building on the left. Those would be the two options.
Okay.
I know this is maybe a tedious question, but what can you tell me about those that might influence him tactically?
What kind of details would influence his decision? I mean, as you can see up on the one that's on your left, it is not just completely flat, whereas the one on the right is. One of them would give you, the one on your right gives you a view of the front of the place where your friends are staying, where the right gives you more of a, like, you could run and jump to the roof of the saloon. I kind of need to know what kind of information would inform this decision.
Trying to get which I guess I could just, actually angle shit. Line of sight on the mayor's house and the church. But
neither of them will give you a direct line of sight on the church.
Well, I was angling my camera, and it looks like if I get on the building on the left, I can see the front door of the church at the very least.
You definitely cannot see the front door of the church. Which built this right here? If you see God's flashlight, this is the church.
Oh! I thought the one across from it was
no,
the church.
This is the sheriff's office.
Well, that would give him the front door of the sheriff's office. And then last question: what are these buildings immediately across the street from where Geist is standing facing? Buildings on the left and right to the north.
This one right here appears to be, like I said, this is one of the biggest buildings in the town. It is the general store. It is also kind of like you got like a cart, like a delivery cart and things on it. Here to the right, can't remember if I put any like decorations in here or not to help me identify. There were pre-existing decorations in here, and they do not help. We'll say that one there on the right is a resident domicile. Maybe one of the wealthy, maybe a strong word, but somebody who has a little more dosh. They've been here for a little longer. Maybe somebody who runs one of the mining teams. You're muted.
I've put him up on the building on the left so he could have a view of the mayor's house. There's like this little ledge thing. If he were to like lay out right there, would he be able to see without being seen with his
he could certainly try.
Shroud on top of him?
He could certainly try.
I'm asking you because there's a difference between like miniature building and what it.
Yeah, I mean, it would provide coverage. I mean, you're laying on top of a roof, so it's not perfect.
I was just saying because like on the, I don't know if you see where I've placed him. There is a lifted up area.
Yeah,
right
like I
there.
said, that is kind of shaped in that same general thing. So yes, it provides more cover than the flat roof, 100%. It would help.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, he will be laying out flat with his shroud on top of him.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Yeah.
This is for approaching and getting up here. The navigation of getting up onto the roof unnoticed.
It's a straight roll because of my shroud, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Does it give you advantage or does it just give people disadvantage to notice you?
Both.
Both. Then I suppose it would give you advantage. Actually, no. This is. I mean, there's the problem with stealth checks. We'll say yes. I was about to say because there's sound elements involved as well, but whatever. We'll roll with the advantage because why not? It's a straight roll.
Gotcha. That's right. I do not have expertise on that, so that'll be 21.
21. Very good. You are a sneaky snake. Getting up onto that roof, taking up a position, planning to lay there for God knows how long. And is everybody else just trying to push it as far as they can, get your long rest in?
Yeah, Clyde's gonna try and push it to the 5:30 so that he can jump right in there first thing and zip zop over to the barracks.
Okay.
Yippers.
I would, since I am awake, I think that I get up and go out, and I would just like to sort of casually be near here and ping off one of my divine senses near the mayor's house to see. It's only 60 feet, but like these places aren't very big, so
It's a 30-foot radius?
let me check. It is 60 feet. It doesn't say radius or
Oh,
anything.
so it's just 60 feet of you. So 60-foot radius, effectively.
Yeah.
Does it go through walls?
Yes.
I was
Or
right
wait. Pardon me. It says until that's not behind total cover.
So walls would be total cover.
Yeah. Then never mind. Callie would know.
Yeah.
Callie would know that.
All right.
Kylie did not know that.
No worries.
But I guess I am just out. I guess just take a quick look about since I am awake, because just to see what's going on in the streets at this point in time.
Surely. And because I now know where it is, you're just gonna have to excuse how large this is. There, believe it or not a ton of small carts to be found. So that is where Alistair and Agatha are sleeping. That's a big boy.
They got the Winnebago.
Listen, Alistair used to fucking have go to monster truck rallies back in Maryland, okay? That's
all
what I was
good.
doing
Hey, man.
before.
Okay, John. It's about the motion of the ocean.
Goodness gracious.
John, a little bit intimidated by Alistair's card.
Yeah. So then I guess instead of using my divine sense, I'd just like to make a perception check to see if I see anything going on in the street right now.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. And actually, and how long you plan on kind of walking about and things?
I think it's the act of I buy myself a cup of coffee and then I go outside and I'm just like drinking and sort of, I don't know, the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Could me and Agatha join Callie there? I think that's the same thing I'd be doing, just hanging out and looking, watching.
Surely.
Miss Callie, if you don't mind our company.
Of course not, sir. I just having some coffee taking a look about at this lovely town. And that's gonna be just a 13 on my perception.
Yeah. Fuck. That was almost a natural 20, and then it said to a 2. So 5.
A 5, a 5, and a 13. And this is not long after. This is around the same time Guy stepped out to grab his space. So y'all are up at like 4 or closing on 5.
I think the thing that I tell the barkeep is, or you know, Mr. O something, Lynn, that like I couldn't sleep because of that I had a terrible nightmare, and
Just kind of looks at you and is just like,
yeah, he gets it.
I imagine so.
So, using
So-
coffee to fortify myself.
5 and a 13, you are tired, I suppose, or at the very least, distracted. I mean, you don't. You give it a glance around. You don't. It is just very early in the morning. In these wee hours, you are not. You don't notice anything at this time. Nothing that seems unusual. I mean, you see a few figures moving around. You're not sure if they just been. They could have just been awake. Who knows? Few of them look to be of the church-going sort, perhaps.
Okay.
But other than that, nothing. So, okay. Clarify one last time. My other 3 who are trying to get long rest, locking it in. Y'all are just sleeping until 5:30, just so you can get that long rest. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, you guys get it. No exhaustion for you. Very nice. Very cool. And if I could, after having y'all's coffees, what are y'all two doing? Because this would be, y'all would, by the time they wake up, y'all would have had that period would have ended for you guys.
Turnip's gonna hang back, chill in the room,
Sure.
and then Clyde's gonna make his way downtown,
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
sneaking fast.
Mhm. And then, Callie and
Let's
Mr. Dotry, y'all just staying hanging out there until your friends wake up.
Where is Clyde heading to?
You don't know. Can't even see me. I got a 25 stealth check.
I got a fucking shit. I wasted an 18 right there. I got a 21 perception check.
I mean, you will know. Clyde had
Yeah,
mentioned
Yeah,
that
going,
he would chatting with Genevieve in the
Yeah.
morning. But so would y'all two have been staying out front, or what were y'all doing post coffee?
There's the 2 options of either we walk down to the barracks and join up with Mr. King and whoever else is going with him. The other thing we could do is also go back to the plan of going and introducing ourselves as members of, or like representatives of the consortium.
I'm just trying to clarify where you guys physically are
Right.
around the time you think your friends should be waking up.
I mean, if they're, I would be standing in front at this point in
You're
time.
staying
Yes.
in front of the building. That's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
Clyde is immediately bugging out the window and going to sneak off. Belle and Sarah Belle, what are y'all doing around this wake up time?
Sarah Belle would try to sneak out to try to get to the professor.
Okay, so you are also hopping out the window. Also roll a stealth check for me.
All right, don't fuck this up for me, D&D Beyond. 14.
14. Okay. Got a 14 for Sarah Belle. And for Mr. King, it was a 25, right?
yes, sir. 18
Wonderful.
plus 7.
No, I'm assuming you
Very-
didn't say anything to us on your way out there, King.
I was going out the window. I'm not supposed to be seen on the streets. You know what? Here, let me roll a perception check.
I think
This is a natural 20. Is there anyone out in the street whenever I start to sneak out?
Hyla.
Always high.
What's that? Not a soul
Not a soul.
at the time. Yeah, now 100. So So at this time,
as
completely clear.
And then come around the corner, give a salute to my two compatriots on the front porch.
I can't
And
see
then-
you, my boy.
No, that's
Actually,
what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry. I should have rolled percentiles for that. Hold that thought. I
Okay.
still need to know what Sarah Bell and Bell are doing.
Sneaking out to try to get to.
Yeah,
guys.
that's right. You said 14. With a 14, you were kind of coming out not as quietly as Mr. King. Bell, what were you doing?
Belle and Gus would have, just kind of strolled outside and kind of nodded to Alistair and Callie and Agatha, and then walked up the steps to, kind of look as if she's, doing a morning wake up or whatever on
Okay,
the
you're
little
on
the thing up here.
Front.
I'm on the little what's a little not balcony, but whatever. on
Yeah, so
front.
you come
So-
outside and then go up onto that little balcony.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool beans. Could I get perception checks from Geist, Callie, and Alistair?
Yeah, what I was saying is that if there's no one out there,
That's what I said. Hold that thought
Okay.
because I was being dumb and shouldn't have been rolled percentiles for that at that time.
7.
7,
Much better. This is a 19.
19.
Can I
Okay.
roll one too?
You have not quite made it
Is that it?
outside when this perception check is being rolled.
Gotcha.
Uh,
You are moving that way.
Disadvantage, 16.
Disadvantage 16. Not bad. Okay.
so you all
my-
see the bullet coming out of the ground in the middle. It's like, what?
That's a good idea. Now it's a Bahir because me and Jones were talking about this the other day and it just drops out of the sky. Good luck.
I wasted that nat 20.
Anyway,
It's a lot of falling
so my-
damage, guys. We got this.
my 16 and my 19 will know. Oh, I just grabbed the floor. Don't worry about it. Will note a good bit of movement around this time in the mayor's house, as well as I can't. Boop. Boop. And don't look at this side of the town.
Okay. It's something I need
Is
to have
that
the
cart
camera-
actually there?
Yes.
It just been there the whole time?
Yep, that is Agatha and his cart. Agatha and Alistair's cart.
Bro, I
The
wouldn't
street
even-
parking, there's not like a...
No.
Maybe I don't have them pull them around back or anything?
And it is that big.
It is
It's-
that big at
It's
the
not
moment.
15 feet tall. Let's be real. It's like 10 probably.
All right, and these total cowboy models you see right here,
Uh-huh.
100%. Got 2 Sam Fishers, some cyberpunks, and a couple with.
Must be
You know,
friendly.
they do have fantasy models in this.
Yeah.
They're not
yeah.
cowboys though.
They do.
Those are cool. Leave me alone.
This
I
man said,
get-
I need somebody with a sword. Let me get the cyborg with a gas mask.
None of these guys have swords. None of these guys have swords. Thank you very much. But in this group, you see leading, and these are you guys see these like in a mixture of you see activity in the house, and then also walking down the street are a handful of individuals, all pretty well armed. In the front, led by a Minotaur and a Dwarf. Are our Sam Fisher models, are that Minotaur and Dwarf, and a handful of lackeys following them that have guns and the like. A couple of them with rifles, one with a pair of revolvers. And then some other folks that seem to just have singular revolvers in the back. And that is where those folks are. So now we start to move forward in time, you're where you're at there, kind of on that King, if you're sneaking out,
Yeah.
you'd have been somewhere kind of on this side, kind of back this away. Sarabelle as well, back this away. And you take your shadow. Take your shadow with you. Get him out of here.
Hidden.
He's hidden at the front door.
Oh, I didn't look at the camera of the stream. Shh. See nothing.
But that is what our people that were actively on watch are seeing as the other people are walking through, coming on towards the outside and hustling out of the window on the side. I should also change the light because it's not the middle of the fucking day. I'm really, really good at this. We're at that's the wrong way. We want early morning. It's a little. Why is there fog? Oh wow, that's why there's fog, because that looks really weird otherwise. All right. So early dawn hours, if that is not bright enough, please somebody be sure to let me know. I bet you can't see. So, that is what we are seeing at the moment. Clyde, are you... Oh, wait, no. So, okay, so you're trying to be line off. You see that there are individuals in the street?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm starting with my stealth folks first, by the way, just since that is important.
The team knows what the plan is. I'm heading there.
Okay.
No one's in the room when I'm waking up. Clyde is of the mind that he's gonna go in there and take care of the situation that the rest of the team will be overwatch and back up in case things go sideways. So he's zip-zopping across. If he gets in the areas where he has to cross the road or something, he'll manifest his shadow to a barrel across the place and then get to the other side so that he's not running over just open ground and line of sight or something like that.
Okay, so that is what you're doing. You are starting to move that way. Sarabelle, what are you doing?
Sarabelle would continue to try to get up to Geist.
Okay, I would presume that you guys would have been told that you would have communicated Geist which building you were planning to sit on.
Yeah, 100%. At least to Sarabelle, but I mean actually to everyone because they would need to know where to look or direct signals and stuff.
Okay. That being said, that means you are attempting to scale this building right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there four
She's gonna
dudes in
make
the
it.
road?
There are all these people in this road. What's up, guys?
Oh, that's a lot more fellas. Holy shit. For some reason, when you initially put those down, I only saw 3 guys out there. And I'm like, all right.
That's why I said there's a Minotaur and a dwarf with 5 lackeys.
Ideally, I don't know if this will give either direction or advantage or what, but Geist would have also told her where the best place to climb up would have been on the back. To do it inconspicuously, at least.
I'm willing to say that will let you roll with advantage. If you want to roll another d20 and see if that's better than your 14.
Am I rolling stealth or now
This
acrobatics?
This is a stealth check.
Okay.
You're trying to do this as quietly as possible.
I love dropping a natural 20. Thanks, D&D Beyond again.
Oof.
Nope. We're gonna stick with that 14.
Probably would have directed to that little, not ledge, overhang thingy, where the main building right there that he's on right now ends and the next one begins.
This is a pretty big gap between these 2 buildings. But anyway, 14 being your stealth check. God damn, I can't get over how big that fucking card is. I might need to go see if I've got another card that's smaller than that here in a minute. Anyway. You are walking your way up your stairs, meaning to get a perch up there, Miss Bell. You 2 are on watch, and you're seeing, your friends should be getting up, plans should be getting ready to get in action, and you see these people come walking around the corner, they came from the, I say around the corner, they actually came straight across the street. Straight across the street. And so you walk in them, and you see the Minotaur. I mean, yeah, we'll say the Minotaur. We'll say the Minotaur was on the right. Turn, look, and call out, directing at you, Sarabelle. What are you doing? And starts crossing the street. As you are in the act of starting to, like, you're reaching and grabbing onto the wall. So this one starts to peel off this way. The others just kind of like the dwarf wanders a few feet, but just kind of stops, and like the rest of the posse just kind of come to a bit of a crooked halt. So this would have been like you got to like here and or a little back this way, like you called out as you were stepping up to put your hands on the. Wait, I need to move them a little bit farther forward.
Just testing to make sure this building is made out of treated lumber.
Yeah.
So
No
what are
termites.
you doing? You hear that? You see this heavy set Minotaur woman start crossing the street towards you as you were like grabbing on to the side of this building.
Just gonna put a smile on. Oh, good morning. Seem that unfortunately last night I threw one of my favorite pairs of shoes on top of one of these roofs. I kind of
Roll a deception check for me.
when I get to the drink,
Can I hear this? Can I hear her calling out this lie?
Roll a perception check for me.
Oh my
There's
god. I can't hear her yelling across the street. It's just a
I
natural.
mean, she's calling out. I was just making sure you didn't roll like super fucking shit. What'd you roll?
A 2 for a 5 total.
Roll it at advantage. Roll it at advantage because your attention is on these guys.
18 for 21.
There you go. You do hear the I threw my shoes on the roof.
Wonderful. I'm gonna roll my eyes at Callie, as in, here we fucking go already. I'm gonna move to right here, and I'm gonna come around the corner looking kind of confused, like I'm looking for something or someone. And I'm gonna say, Anita, darling, you found your shoes yet? And I'm gonna try to give her advantage on that roll. Or I could roll one myself.
I'll say this is at best giving her advantage.
fuck.
Roll one more time for me.
Okay.
Give me an advantage. Fuck.
Hey, it's better than the 3 I rolled originally.
Uh-huh. What is
14.
it? 14's pretty good.
I can get this guy's attention and all. Be like, you seen a pair of nice high heels on one of these signs over here? She got incredibly intoxicated last night, and it's, for as small of a town as it is, we can't seem to find these fucking shoes anywhere.
She looks doubtful.
My dad does love big women, and the shoes, he just loves me in them.
Ever from Agatha is right there. What's that face you're making there, Alex?
That's my face.
That's
my
Alistair's
and
face.
Sarabelle.
When the guard's dealing with this absolutely preposterous situation, I guess I'm easy sailing down this road.
It's on her saying that, I'm gonna step up to them unless they seem like they're very threatened. And as soon as they like hold a knife or something, I'm just gonna throw my hands up. I'm not trying to be threatened. I'm just trying to close, like I'm trying to tell them a secret. Like, listen, she's had a rough time lately. Her mother passed, her father passed. She's been seeing some things that ain't there lately. It's been a tough time. So yeah, this is a game that she plays. She means no harm. She's never hurt nobody, but you have to understand. She's doing no harm. If you don't want her next to the building, I understand. I'll call her off.
big maniacal grin.
Like I said, looks doubtful, and continue keeps on kind of walking up to the edge of the walkway. When did you arrive in Picton? Still addressing Sarabelle. And where from?
Let's see. Was it a day ago? 2 days ago? It must have been 2 days ago. With the way things are at the at night, it's kind of hard to remember.
And where from?
Do I know any town names in the area that aren't Crystal
Define
Gray?
area.
That
You know
aren't Crystal
other
Gray?
towns in your Cryptodol.
You know, I've already rolled a history check for this, a successful one. Can I call out one of those town names that I rolled for?
Sure.
We came from Simpleville.
It's right next to Original Names Town.
Correct.
Very good.
Not too far from there.
My father was born there.
I mean, you're now very solidly kind of tying yourselves together. Each of you roll a deception check for me.
Oh no.
I'm good at these, which means I'm gonna do good because that's what my character's supposed to do. Yeah. Fuck.
10.
15 for me.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
Did you also roll a 10 on the dice?
No, I rolled a 6. And because
Oh.
of my class feature been nerfed, it's a 6. We agreed on it. That's my fault.
I was like, wait a minute.
I can still complain about it.
You can. It wouldn't have mattered,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
That's 20. Unfortunately.
Real original name.
Would you allow me, DM, if I were to slap my hand on his shoulder or her shoulder, because you said this was the Minotaur,
Yeah, this
correct?
is a big female Minotaur.
And spend one of my inspiration charges to try to get that below a 15. Or at least, yeah.
Sorry, looking at stat block. Your die is a D6 right now.
Not a D8 until next level.
It is not mathematically possible for it to drop it to a 16.
I wouldn't know that. I'd still go ahead and do it.
Okay. Spend bardic inspiration. You see it get roll a D6 just for narrative flavor.
Sure.
And tell me what you do get.
A D6 typically do well. Not this time though. 2.
2. Seems to think about it for the briefest moment before looking at the two of you and looking down kind of whoops, I might have shuffled you on accident, sorry. And looking down the walkway kind of where you came from and glancing back and forth. Simpleville, really? Sure you haven't come from Crystal Gray?
Was that the name of the town? It could have been. I'm not gonna lie to you. My name is J. Alistair Daughtry. I've been all over this town, this continent of your Cryptodol. Can I use my background? Have they heard of me? Are they a fan? Do I get advantage on charisma checks with them? Come on, dog.
I love your books,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. They can love to read.
Oh god, it would be very be stereotyping if you were just like, well, they're a big minotaur, they must not read, so that'd be unfair. High low, Jones.
We point to our one and only God. Be always high.
The dice god, correct. Do not blaspheme in my D&D church.
Razor dongers. Big fan.
She does raise her eyebrows. Before she speaks, Clyde, were you stopping at all?
No.
You just keep it going?
I see that these guys have commotion. Like, oh, yep. That means I get to go quicker now. Let's go. Go while they're not looking.
at least, like, you're still trying to move stealthily, so I'd say put yourself at least, like, over here-ish.
Okay.
Zero God's flashlight is that somewhere along that route. Like, you're about halfway, like, you're getting towards that compound. God damn it. For context, I rolled a 98.
Yes! My background is useful.
She's about to gush.
It's like about to be misery over here. She's like, what?
Oh, shit.
Said I love it so much.
Why
Crack.
did you?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to decide how exactly to interpret that. Because what is the wording
Roll.
on your background?
I'll let you know.
Jesus Christ.
While he looks that
She
up,
has a tattoo of one of his
Yeah,
first book titles
I
on
guess
her
what are
arm.
you doing during this, Sarabelle, while he's checking
well,
that?
first, what if she's such a big fan she knows about Agatha? Just.
I don't know if Agatha that would depend on, like, if Agatha was, like, in his foreword or anything, like, mentioned somewhere.
It's actually for my love, Agatha.
That would be fucking rough. Like,
No,
uh-oh.
back in the day, they just did initials, right? For my dear darling love, A.
Oh, he did call me a name.
He did.
Sarabelle. Oh God, what would Sarabelle be doing?
I would say, and kind of like at the mention of, like, are you sure you're not from Crystal Grit? Or you didn't come from Crystal Grit? More of these people, like, they start ambling kind of across the street.
Ready whenever
I mean,
you are.
Go right ahead, read it off for me.
It's notable our author, with the feature being name dropping. You know and have met any number of powerful people across the land, and some of them might even remember you. You might be able to wrangle minor assistance from a major figure in the campaign at the DM's discretion. Additionally, the common folk treat you with deference, and your heritage and the stories you tell might be good for a free meal or a place to sleep.
Okay.
The name dropping is actually from a background. I didn't write that. That's
Right.
from a background.
Yeah, that sounded like that. That's what I figured. Good for a meal or a place to sleep,
Or a minor favor from a major figure,
or a
based
minor
on
favor from a
your
major.
your
Right.
discretion.
Right. Her eyes light up a little bit at as you say her name. And she does kind of keep looking over at Sarabelle and back at you. Mr. Daltrey, I must say that I am a fan of your work.
Are you now?
Yes. And this is a companion of yours.
Oh, between you and I, companion is a mighty strong word. I am looking after Miss Anita. She's, as I said, she's gone through a hard time. And there's a soft spot in my heart for broken things, and she falls into that category, believe me. But you said your name was, I'm so sorry. My manners are scattered in this moment and all this threat.
Rose Sullivan.
Miss Rose, it is quite a pleasure, and I'll hand out I'll try to take her hand and kiss it if she'll allow me.
She does. She also pulls out a gun.
An unusual greeting?
As much as I admire your work. Glances over at Sarah Bell. Perhaps you and your friend would be gracious enough to come with me and my friends.
To what ends, Miss Rose?
I believe I know somebody who would also like to meet you.
And who is that and for what purpose? Excuse me, your weapon is... I am but a humble author. Your weapon is throwing me off here at the moment. Who would like to speak to me and to what ends?
Still meandering their way across.
Do I clock that like out of the corner?
Yeah, you would. I'd see. I mean, you see them. They're not trying to hide it. They just they were just kind of watching until she called out that are you sure you're not from Crystal Grit? And then they seem to have kind of perked up and started like walking across, not like at speed, but they're crossing the street. Like I said, someone who would like to meet you and your friends. And hopefully just to talk.
Hopefully.
Nods. As a fan, I would hope.
For me and Miss Anita here.
Nods. Sarah, are you moving at all as you're hearing this conversation?
Probably to like there.
Okay, you've kind of ambled over, and I guess check in with Callie and Belle. I mean, this conversation is not being had quietly, and y'all's attention has been drawn well and truly towards it. What are you guys doing?
Is Belle up on above me, or are you down next to me?
She had walked up to the little balcony. But actually, let me ask DM, is this occurring as I walk out the front door?
This would have kind of started occurring as you were coming out, like you would have gotten to the bottom of the stairs. So you would like to.
Okay.
I guess I need to reiterate.
Stopped with 1 foot.
Yeah, this was like a semi live board as we're kind of checking in with what everybody's doing.
Sure. Yeah. So she probably would have stopped with like 1 foot on the first stair, kind of like. And I did roll a 21 on a perception check, DM. So just kind of like checking around to see what else is going on, because clearly we can hear it. So I'm tracking while listening and trying to check out the rest of the street.
Good question. Could I get this? They're not quite across the way. You would have an angle. Could I get a? Callie, would you have been moving from your position at all before I'm about to say what I say out loud?
Yeah, I think that if anything, I would have moved like slightly this way, like not all the way, but like to give the guys like just like a nosy neighbor. I'm not obviously in my summer Eladrin form. I'm still in my prissy spring form. Yeah.
Okay.
So I look fairly innocuous.
Cool. And I saw Geist had his hand raised. What's up, buddy?
Yes. He being close enough to like hear all this kind of going down. Still wanting to stay hidden, as hopefully this won't be everything popping off.
Mm-hmm.
He would shimmy forward so that if things did start, he could take a shot.
Okay, you're shimmying forward.
Hopefully not barrel first.
Callie, could you roll a Callie and honestly anybody? Callie, roll a perception check for me. Sarah Bell and Sarah Bell as well.
Okay.
You mean Belle and Sarah Bell?
No.
Oh, just Callie and Sarah Bell.
Callie and Sarah Bell. Do you have? Yeah, Belle could roll as well. Sure, why not?
12.
Perception is
Is this-
only going to be a 14.
Okay, 14, 12.
Does Alistair get that or no?
I'm kind of going no because you're facing towards the Minotaur, so your back is kind of to this group of people as they've started to cross the street.
Completely fair.
I mean, though I guess you roll one at disadvantage because I'm assuming that you know that these guys are not your friends, so you may have glanced over your shoulder.
It's a 5
Team,
and
can
a
I use?
3.
Can I use? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask if I could use the roll that I had for coming out that front door. Do I need to roll a different one?
Go ahead and roll a different one for me. So I have 14, 12,
6.
6. That's not great.
7.
7, also not great. I'll say the 14 is good. It is good enough, I think, combined, kind of with the chaos that is going on. I say chaos like it's not people are just talking, but I know there's chaos internally. That is what we discuss at this point. I'll say with the 14, Callie, you're able to immediately recognize that as these guys are talking, you see through. Like I said, this cart is not actually as big as this. You're trying to look, kind of outside, and you see just kind of like through, like right past the edge. You see the body language that you saw last night as one of these guys turns, puts a hand up to his one side of his head and point, and you see his lips moving. You see that he is casting message.
Shit.
I need to know what you're doing.
I don't. Oh no.
Okay, take a moment to think about that. Sarah Bell and Alistair.
Do I
Is
hear anything that he's saying?
I'd say, yeah, you've been able to hear. This has not been a quiet conversation. It's been directed at both of you guys. Like, you got somebody that you want to meet, and hopefully it'll be just a conversation because I'm a fan, hopefully.
I mean, the one that is casting message. Do I hear any of that?
You can roll a perception check for me. Because I believe the initial message does have to be spoken out loud, right?
I think it's a
I
whisper,
do.
but yeah.
It's a whisper, so you'd have to.
It says specifically that no one can understand what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
You just can tell that someone's casting it.
so you see lips moving, but you don't know what they're saying.
I think, again, to sort of salvage some of this, and I don't know if they've clocked, like anything, but maybe, I don't know. This is so scary. I don't know.
I do want to know real quick before you did. Like, I know you're stressed, so if you want to take another moment to think, Sarah Bell and Alistair, are you guys cooperating? She basically says, "Come with me." Or has expressed that you need to come with me.
Okay, so clarification. You
Yes.
whisper, only the target can hear what you whisper, but you still have to whisper it. So technically you can observe what someone says with a whisper, but it's not with audio. I just read it. You're absolutely
I'm shaking
wrong.
my head. I cannot do that.
Oh, okay, you can't do that. Okay.
If you
Yeah,
can,
but
I think that's there. If you can read lips, you can understand.
right,
what
if you
they're
can read
saying.
lips,
Yeah.
you can understand what they're saying.
Which
Yeah.
nobody has observant, from my understanding.
But
right?
technically speaking, if you were to cast message and just do that, you
Yeah.
can see shit.
You just do this and point.
I think at this point in time, Callie is not interfering with or intercepting. I think she is staying out front, knowing full well where the professor is. If I can hear this, that they're going to be, being sort of frog marched, I'll keep an eye on where they're going. But like, unless something like actually pops off, I am not going to interfere.
Okay, so that then leaves me. You have been told, not directly like guns being pointed at you, but basically like to prove a point of like unholstering a gun.
Yeah.
Of like, are you guys going with her? And company they are continuing to step across the street.
Right. And if I'll see and hear them, Madam Rose, I'm unsure of what this is about. I would say a promise of safety wouldn't go unmissed here, but it seems like my safety's in jeopardy already. You'll have to forgive me if I'm not ready and willing to step with you at this very moment. I have no problems answering some questions if that's what you would like, but I would like just a bit of clarification from you.
Roll persuasion check for me.
Sure. I think
At advantage, I suppose, since 98% ginormous fan. Literally ginormous. Minotaur.
Okay. That is gonna be a 27.
27. Which is kind of non. Jesus Christ. Fucking keeps doing the misery shit in fucking chat. If you are simply here looking for another one of your inspiration for your stories, answer questions asked, then your safety shouldn't be in jeopardy. You simply may have just traveled with the wrong people. If you would come with us.
I'll get a little bit
Now.
closer. With the wrong people, madam. If you could elaborate. Perhaps I could have been hoodwinked. If you can please just elaborate as to what is going on at this moment, I would extremely appreciate the clarity. Because as of right now, and I'm going to look down at her pistol, you have guns on me and they do not.
At this point, she glances over. The dwarf and the rest have started ambling over. She looks a bit pained. Well, let's hope you've simply been hoodwinked.
Very well, I suppose I don't have much of a choice in this matter. I have all of these weapons pointed at me, and I'm going to be making a point to be louder. And
Currently, still only the one pistol drawn.
they have pistols on their hips, or at least some of them do.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
seems that I do not have much of a choice. So I will join your company, but I think it should just be me. Yes.
Glances over at Sarah Bell. Just the two of you.
Very well, but Miss Rose, I would appreciate. Come on. And I'm gonna wave my hand towards Sarah Bell. Come on. But I would appreciate if your line of questioning could be directed at me going from this point forward. Anita is troubled.
Where are they taking us?
I'm sure that will be plenty.
Can I roll an insight check on her?
Sure. What are you trying to discern?
I am trying to discern if she means me harm regardless.
Okay, roll.
I'm trying to determine whether or not I gotta bust a cap on this bitch's face.
13 total.
13.
Yeah.
You're trying
Best
to
as you
figure
can
out what
tell,
color
she.
lights to throw up.
I mean, best as you can tell. I mean, she seems regretful of like that she's having to like interact with you like this.
Okay.
You specifically.
Right. Did she say anything to that? That I'm requesting that her line of questioning be directed towards me?
She glances at Sarah Bell. Kind of looks a little dubious, but I think that your answers will be sufficient. But I'm not the one asking them.
Where are you taking us?
She's just across the street.
Anita, I'm going, and I'm going to look at Rose when I say this. I'm going to hug my paramour in case something unfortunate happens. I'm gonna go over there and walk over to Agatha, unless she stops me. Who's still over here by Callie.
Gonna pull out all the dynamite. Let's go.
So you're stepping back over that way.
Yeah, towards Callie, where Agatha was waiting in the square right here.
I'll say that she's a big fan. She's willing to let that go. The dwarf, however, let me double check something.
Bam.
Bah! He just starts blasting. No, he does not. Oh, fella, I think there's time enough for that later. Question: Are you trying to do something here?
Ultimately, I am just going to hug Agatha, and
Okay.
I'm going to look. I mean, I'm gonna head that way, unless another gun gets drawn on me that I can see. I'm heading towards Agatha.
Let the man express his love for the woman he
That
loves.
yeah, it's the Minotaur. He's coming, Brooks. Rolls his eyes and just and watches you. Like you see, like a lot of hands resting on guns at this point. Nobody's drawn yet, aside from Miss Sullivan.
Right. I'm gonna draw Agatha up into a deep hug, and I'm gonna look at Callie, Agatha, and Belle here, who's probably a little bit too far for what I'm trying to say here. But I am gonna say, if y'all doing something here, you do it now, or else I'm going with them and I'm answering their questions. You make a decision, and you have 3 seconds.
Is this a white light three whistle situation?
White light 3 whistle situation.
Do you remember
That's
the
fine.
color?
I'm gonna
That's
start.
like-
I know he said 3 seconds. I'm gonna start counting down from 10. 10, 9,
I will
8,
have
7,
fairy light
5,
prepared.
4, 3.
So
I
you will have
shout out
fairy
and go,
lights prepared?
Fairy fire.
excuse me, ma'am. Do you know where the mayor is? I have an important message to deliver to him by the Arcane Consortium.
5:30 in the morning.
It's not 5:30. It's not
By
5:30.
now.
It's like
is.
5:40 or something at this juncture. Maybe a little, like 5:35.
They're all awake. It's
Everybody took a
fine.
few minutes to be awake and moving.
Man, get him up. 5:30. Fucking bum.
Roll
Hey, you know
a
the government is. They want shit to happen on their own time. They don't care.
roll a deception check for me.
+6 to this, please.
And yeah, just roll it. Just roll it. I had to think about something.
22.
22. She, weirdly enough, does not look surprised. Like, there's like a hint of surprise in her eyes, but then it's very quickly like, all right then, and just, very well then you come to. We didn't expect more words, sir. And gestures both her and the dwarf like, yep, come on.
I give Agatha a deep kiss. I put my forehead on hers, and I say, "You hang outside of that building. You have my guns ready, and we get ready to rain down hell on these motherfuckers. You understand me, my love?"
Callie is walking across, or like towards this
You're
Minotaur.
coming towards the group.
Yeah,
Sarah
just
Bell, are
sort
you
of
coming towards him?
allow for Alistair to have this conversation, and just be as like, to this Minotaur, like, I have direct orders from the like some of the highest levels of the consortium, and it's very important that I speak to whoever, whether it's the mayor or whoever's in charge here. They're very disappointed.
They?
Yes, they. The Arcane Consortium. Have you heard of them? The people who take care of everything on this godforsaken continent?
The other two of you are you guys coming?
Yeah, as soon as I say that,
Is
Agatha,
it-
I'm turning around and I'm right by Rose once more.
I'm sure the mayor will be most interested to hear what they have to say. And they turn and they have you guys move through the middle of them until you have Rose leading you, and then the dwarf kind of behind you guys, and the others kind of trailing a little farther behind that.
And I want to make it very clear that I am saying this as loudly and shrilly
Sure.
as possible so
Mhm.
that everybody in this goddamn town hears me.
Sure.
This is privileged actions of nonsense, and I'm hoping that the professor hears me, that maybe Clyde, Mr. King hears me. Yeah, that's what
Maybe somebody's 120 feet away would hear.
I'm saying. I'm being very loud.
Surely. You guys are all walking, and I mean, y'all are going across the street. Is anything happening, or are you guys entering the building? I need to know.
I'm gonna enter. I've done a thing. I'm gonna enter because I clearly now have to make up
You're
a
going in.
goddamn lie.
You're going in.
Yeah.
Is anybody interfering? Need to know.
I can't interfere, but I will barely suppress just a. Verbal face.
DM, I have a question for you before I waste a lot of resources on this. Would you allow me to change the color of dancing lights after it is cast?
After it is cast.
Because it does not say that I can do that. It just says that I can change the shape and
I mean, I'm gonna say
move them.
if you can change the shape and move it, I don't see like under literally any other circumstances, I would not say no to that. And I'm not just gonna change my ruling because I know you guys are using it as a signaling system. So yeah, I mean, sure.
Okay.
We spent so long on that system.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where I'm like, if somebody just randomly asked me that, I would with no hesitation go, yeah, sure, why not? I'm not gonna be that guy and be like, well, because I know you're using it for tactical reasons, I'm gonna say no. Like
Well, I mean,
that's stupid, and
I
it's
think that'd
very
be completely
very
fair.
reasonable.
Regardless, I can't. I have to see what's going to go on in there first,
Mhm.
because because it only lasts a minute, so I have to wait anyways.
Okay, so DM Belle's gonna, be acting like she's like casually interested, but bending over and petting Gus and cast thaumaturgy and cause tremors in the ground.
Where I
Um,
believe it has a radius.
does it says 30 feet is the range, so I don't
So
want it to be
within 30
necessarily.
feet of you.
Yeah.
So like where you're standing, you'd be able to do out to here.
So yeah, I just want it to be kind of like to maybe get their attention, particularly with all the elemental stuff that's been going on. That might be a thing, and just kind of casually, I'm petting Gus. We're kind of moving. We're walking over toward
What
the edge of
components
the
does thaumaturgy have?
Hang on, and I'll tell you, it has just a verbal component.
Just a verbal component. Okay, that means you would have to audibly say something to cast a spell.
Okay.
Just as an aside. So.
Okay.
They're not walking directly through it. and that is kind of where I'm running into things. It's not like it's not
would they
actually an
notice it?
earthquake.
Yeah.
Would they notice it?
Right.
I rolled with advantage and got a 13. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to think of how to interpret.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't help, it doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately gonna say like they
you know?
like it seems like one of the guys in the back kind of glances over his shoulder, but like they seem very focused on these individuals, your companions at this time. Okay, so final call. Nobody is doing anything right before they get in. Nobody's stopping anything from like doing anything before they enter.
Nope. They are going across the street into the
into
governor's
the mayor.
house, right?
Yeah.
Or mayor's house.
Yes, ma'am. What's up, Bill?
Sorry, I was checking for something else.
Yeah, by all means. That's what I'm trying to give her plenty. I know probably it feels like I'm just ratcheting back the speed, like the pacing by a lot, but I understand I don't want to screw anybody out of being able to do something they want to do. Okay.
No.
You guys.
I'm sorry. One more.
Yeah.
What? No, not a dome. Not a dome. I just want to see how far. Okay, so when I see that they don't pay any attention to
at this point, they're like kind of walked all
like now
the way,
they're kind of over here
this way.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got.
So
they have this lady kind of in front.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy again, and this time it's gonna be a sound that kind of emulates the sound that we heard outside of town.
Like the screeching.
Yeah, the screeching, but it's going to be behind on the far side of the cart.
So that sound y'all heard was well in the distance.
Right. Yeah, but it's going to them it's going to be like behind them, right, as they're walking toward the mayor's house. It's going to be 30 feet directly, like up the street. So it'd be a little bit behind them.
Sure.
I think if I don't, this is my first time doing thaumaturgy, so if I'm screwing it up, let me know.
You definitely see some people perk up. And you know what? I'm gonna say. See what to. Dorf turns and like listens, and he points out like 4. Like, so these 4 that are currently kind of separated all right here.
Mm-hmm.
And basically see him go give some orders real quick to, like, there's a light out just in case. Look. And they kind of look a little, like, disappointed. But they do turn and they start moving down the street, kind of the direction of where you cast thaumaturgy.
Okay.
While one of the lackeys and the dwarf move to enter the house along with your party members.
Just gonna keep, I'm just a casual bystander, so I'm just, out there petting my dog, a little worried about what that sound is. I look concerned, but concerned and nosy.
Can I ask
entering
you,
the building?
can I ask you a question right before we enter, like kind of where we're at right now? Yeah,
so doors opening.
So I've had some interaction with Rose and the dwarf. I forget what you call their name at the moment. Do I get a sense that they're of the same rank, or that one of them is in charge, or so than the other?
Both of them. I mean, roll an insight check. Sure. I mean, it's not gonna be terribly hard.
21 with an 18.
21. You kind of gather these guys seem like they're probably the same rank.
Okay. Fairly high ranking from my insight.
You don't have a ton of exposure to like their command structure, but I mean they both seem to give orders to the rest of the guys that were with them with pretty calmly and confidently.
Last question: more higher or lower than the Aarakocra I saw on the outside of town last night?
I'd say probably about the same.
About the same. Okay, so those guys are about the same. Fuck. All right, I gotta have more people on my side because as of right now, I think King has abandoned me, and I'm going to subtle cast suggestion right before we go in. She goes to put her hand on the doorknob. I'm gonna put my hand on hers. I'm gonna use my last stone, cast subtle spell suggestion on her and say quietly, Miss Rose, I understand that you are doing a job. I get that, I deeply do, but I have and the spell save DC is a wisdom 15.
Do they know if it's been cast on them?
I don't think there's any way for them to tell. They know when it ends, I believe, but other than that,
But the fact that it was cast on.
it's a subtle spell. So I think using that resource, I don't think so, but that's your call.
No, I don't think so. Unless it very explicitly states, and I didn't think it did. I just wanted to be sure. You cast it. And what was the entirety of your statement?
I would have said, I get that you're just doing a job here. I understand that, and because you are a fan, I am obliging. Please do not let any harm come to me or my companion.
You cast it, and you feel it fail. Feel the spell fade. She does. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've changed my mind. I do want to do something, but I didn't want to interrupt your guys' flow. So sorry.
But shut up, Chris. I hate you.
I don't know the number. You didn't tell me the number. I would like to spend another use of my bardic inspiration to get a d6 away from it, even if it's still impossible.
Hold on.
I wouldn't know that.
I know. I'm double checking something because some things are not the same as others. Is it meets beats?
Beats.
Meets beats.
There goes that d6. -3.
-3 does not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Stop that.
She does look at you and I don't know any reason that it would.
Good. I trust your word.
As long as you're here for the reason you say. And opens the door and steps through.
Yep, I follow her in.
Belle, last chance. You said you were wanting to do something? That
So
I'm gonna say Minotaur and Alistair have stepped through the entryway.
and who got sent down the street to inspect?
You saw these four guys. So the dwarf, the Minotaur, and one of their men is entering the building with them. The other four have turned and started walking down the street towards the noise
Okay.
that you created.
Is there anybody that's approximately my height?
Probably.
Okay. So what I'd like Bill to do is to basically just because it's still dim, not a lot of people, is just step around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna cast disguise self to look like whichever guy had the closest to my size, and that does change my clothing.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes everything look, and
Sure.
and so then I'm gonna let them get through the door, but then I'm gonna be as close on their heels as I can. So if they get in front of me where I have to knock, I'll just be ready with they're down there. But I'm gonna try to be as close on their heels as I can.
Okay, so you're trying to turn into one of the four that were sent away?
Yes.
Okay. If you're trying to just follow them in,
Mhm.
that's what you're trying to do. Hey, you'd have to
Yeah.
basically sprint across the street.
Okay, so not sprinting, but like as if I'm coming in behind them,
Okay.
And I'm
You're
gonna have
doing that.
Gus posted up. He's gonna stay outside the
You're kind
saloon.
of trying to follow in.
Yeah.
We'll say like they're
With Agatha.
kind of going in. They're entering. I'm sure your companions are not trying to speed walk. We're gonna hold there for a second because it's been several minutes. more than several. Mr. King,
Hey yo.
I assume that you never stopped your advance.
I no. I wouldn't have any reason to, as far as I would know.
Okay.
He 100% saw us get stopped in the street.
Yeah, well, as far as them talking to guards, sure, but not that they're detaining you.
They're walking us across the street.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. You guys started
Yeah.
talking, and I said, "Oh, time to go."
He bounced after.
He
y'all
kept
started
moving, like, as
getting-
soon as it stopped and turned into conversation, he left. So, you are easily, by this juncture, arrived kind of around this compound area. I need to know what you're doing.
I'm gonna scope the place out to see if there are any guards around. If I got line of sight on the premises itself. You said I'm about where at this point?
You're at, like, the edge of the compound, so you can be kind of checking things out.
Yeah, I'll go and check things out.
So, just roll a perception check for me.
Sure. That is a 17.
17. I mean, quick glancing around. And I'll say this kind of with, I assume some. Actually, you
Dark
were
vision.
fucking. You were asleep and did not. There was no conversation had after you awoke before you exited through the window. You do not see anybody actively guarding any of these buildings. Like, no, I haven't seen anybody like standing guard or anything. And I'll say with 17 perception, you probably hear a little bit of some movement inside. You don't see anybody standing guard though.
Okay, do these buildings have any kinds of windows on them?
Do they?
Clyde's standing right by one if you're looking at the building.
Hey!
Yeah, there's some. Yeah,
Are
where
they-
the fuck is Clyde?
And I'm right at the corner. Yeah, right there.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, you are. I'll say, yeah, there are windows on those ends. It's kind of weird that those are like the only place there are windows, but yeah, that's where they're at.
I'm gonna slip in there and peek if see any rabbit folk. Are these buildings 2 stories or 1 story?
They're one story. They're
Okay.
like long cabins.
I didn't know if it was like big cabin and then like an attic type kind of thing or something. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I see anything with
You're just looking in through the window.
Yeah, with big old ears and a silhouette. I don't know what the layout of these things are. If it's kind of like an old hospital type kind of, like
It's I mean,
The
like if you
barracks.
kind of want to, it is kind of barracks. You kind of like if you want to, the room that you're glancing in. Wow, I did not realize the sand just went through the floor of all these buildings. Whoops. There's just it's real sandy in there, guys. They don't sweep.
ooh, they dirty.
They don't sweep. That building, that section that you're looking at appears to, for that window appears to be kind of a common area.
Okay.
So just looking through that window, I mean, let's see. I'm assuming always high.
Always.
You don't see her in the common area. You see a couple people having some like real like grad like get there over there. They're tired, rubbing eyes, having something to drink. Other than that, you do not see a rabbit folk through this window. You do see,
Alright.
like I said, if you just look, like you see, there's a door exiting that room.
You said well, there's like a fire or something in there. Does it?
Yeah,
look
there's like a cook fire and stuff where they're kind of like some food and coffee and things are being made.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a little commons area.
Yeah, that's what's yeah. This is like a common
yeah,
area where it
yeah,
looks
I'll-
like maybe they've got food and stuff.
I'll just kind of move on to the building across because seeing that there's a common area, then Clyde's probably going to assume that like that might be like the mess building, so he's just going to move on to the next building to see what's in that one.
Okay.
So he
Roll
probably
a I'm just gonna say because I'm assuming that you're planning to just methodically go around, right?
right, yeah,
Just roll an investigation check for me.
an investigation check.
Yeah, because I forgot to I had to rearrange some of the stuff for these buildings, and I accidentally blocked some windows.
okay,
So we're they're there. You just can't see them.
what's my intelligence? 15.
15. I'm gonna say with about 5 minutes
Okay.
of looking, that you determine that she is not in any of the common spaces.
Okay.
I will say with an investigation and kind of with your 17 perception, that you, like I said, this is why it takes you a few minutes of like going around and listening. That you determine that she is actually in that first building you checked, but just that she doesn't get up early like everybody else.
Okay, was there not like any windows to look inside the like rooms with all the beds and stuff in it?
There is like one.
Okay.
And that's what I said. That's why like you kind of between.
Right.
You kind of look like you're kind of going counterclockwise.
Right.
Unless you can.
Oh, so I
That's what
gotta
it
go
looks like.
all the way and like.
You kind of
come back
yeah.
to
You
this?
kind of
Okay,
you got
I
unlucky.
see.
You went all the way around.
Gotcha.
But you, as far as you know, where she is sleeping, we'll say yeah. There is supposed to be a window kind of on that side. I'll say that window is supposed to be here. Is where we'll say this is, because I can't remember which one's covered up, and I'm not about to rip this building apart to find it.
So these people that are in there, do they appear to be dressed in any particular way? And how many would you say are in the building total?
In the building total, like I said, I'll say in this one, let me actually count something real quick. So, we'll do a percentage here. You see, actually, 4 individuals in there that will just kind of that the majority all appear to be dressed like miners. They have rough clothes. You can see like they just have like working boots and things, and you see a handful that look like they are wearing sturdier gear. And I mean, of course, like even miners in these parts, like they use guns because miner is not in a pickaxe sense as we've discussed previously. But there are 4 in there that look like they possess nicer clothes and weapons than the others. I'll say all told in the sleeping in those rooms right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That out of you have the 4, 5 for Genevieve. That there's only 2 others in that room right now. So you see 2 that look like they're kind of dressed like they're more common looking folk.
But
Other
they're
4
awake?
that are dressed niner. The ones in there are all kind of in bed still. We'll say they're all kind of dozing at the very least.
Okay, if they're dozing, I'll stay out that window, create a duplicate of myself inside, and swap places with it right next to her, and try to quietly wake her up with one of these, like in the face.
You go and you're just like, and you gotta wake her up. And I mean, relatively calm, all things considered.
Hey!
Eyes snap open, and she does kind of turn to look you in the eye for a moment, but does very quickly relax. What if anything do you say to her?
I just say, I'm here with Jezebel. Can you leave this building? I'm sorry, you're Jezebel, right? I'm here with Sarabelle. Can you leave? What?
Genevieve.
Fuck, she's a Jezebel. Whatever. Genevieve.
Hey, Jezebel, I'm here with your woman.
I'm here with your friend.
Knowing, Clyde's got a negative. All right, Jezebel, I'm here with you. We're rolling with it. He's calling her a Jezebel.
Okay, sure. You call her Jezebel. You say, Jezebel, I'm here with Sarabelle. Continue your statement.
Can you leave this building right now?
And as you say that, and I assume you, I don't know if you covered her mouth in the
whispering
first
it
place.
very quietly.
And just, can you leave this building right now? She says, well, of course I can. And that's where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session.
Ah,
It's
shit.
11:06 because I'm very bad at pacing.
Stress that. Oh,
Shit stresses me out.
wait.
Well,
We have to
I
wait
keep-
till
I
next
keep-
year.
Oh my
saying-
god,
yeah,
the whole
A
year.
whole year.
Not until next year. Sorry, guys. I keep saying this, and I apologize because I keep saying it like we got the slow burn, and then it's gonna pick up next session, and then it doesn't. So I'm just a massive liar. Regardless, We're Hard Knock Dice. This has been Whispers in the Dust. I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun. I am enjoying as this goes on. And I really enjoy stressing people out. This is fucking
What are you talking
absolute fucking aces. I know it's probably not nearly as fun to watch or to play. It's fucking awesome from the DM side. Just like, oh, this makes you guys freak out a little bit. Good stuff. But anyway, we do this every Wednesday, except for next Wednesday. This is Whispers in the Dust. We run this at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And normally on Saturdays, we also have our Cross Eberron. That would be at 5 p.m. Eastern, but not for the next 2 weeks. On Saturdays, we will be back on the 6th. So the 3rd and the 6th, that's when we are back, and we'll be doing stuff. And by God, it'll be exciting if I have to kill everybody in this party. I promise. Cross my heart. One way or the other.
We're already there.
We're
We're already there.
We're already there. It's
We're
gonna be
ready.
wild. But yeah. Last reminder: click the link. Donate to charity. It's good. Heart wallets. Yes.
Our goals reset as of the end of
Boom.
December. So make sure that if you are going to donate, our goals are going to reset and everything in January. So if you want to continue the streak that we've been on right now, this stream, unless you're just going to go donate on your off time, this stream will be the last chance to donate to Extra Life and specifically the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So please go do it. Open your heart wallets to that great cause. Thank you.
Heart wallets. Lawful kind, chaotic kind, if you wish to.
I was
Just do
chaotic
wild.
kind
How about
earlier.
D100?
I did the D100 times
D6.
1d6.
Hell yeah, let's go. See,
Yeah.
it's fun. It makes it shiny rock go click clack makes everything better, no matter what it is. But oh yeah, and we are gonna be rating Legends of Erantrus. They do very fun TTRPG things. They're fucking hysterical. They're very funny. They're a great time, and we always encourage people to show love and spread the joy of watching people play D&D and encouraging people to play D&D and run D&D, because hell yeah, we're just TTRPGs in general. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.
See you next year.
Bye. See you next year.
See you next year.
Shoot you next year.
Shoot you next
them
year.
next year.
I'm gonna shoot King next year.
What's wrong? I'm doing my job.
Nah, you ain't.
I said I'm